Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly.
Allegedly. Welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we just question everything. Today, we are doing a stream that is not normally scheduled. We are jumping on because we wanted to talk about this sort of bombshell revelation that got buried under the racist white supremacist text of Michael Proctor. But today we're going to be talking about, sounds like Colin might have been in the house.
Joe lies.
Joe lies when he cries.
Oh, I rewatched.
I totally cut you off.
That's
Hi,
okay.
Sorry.
Please tell me we're going to be watching some Allie and Colin today because I watched all of it yesterday. I watched it all yesterday, the cross-examinations. And then last night before Kevin and I went to sleep, I was like, you have to watch the first 5 minutes of Colin Albert's cross-examination in trial one, when he literally gets caught in the lie in the first minute and a half and then doubles down on it.
He lied through the whole thing. I kind of am worried about him. I think he might just be dumb. That's my opinion. I think he might be super dumb because Alan Jackson would be like, there was one moment where he was like, well, I know I told him he could get the screenshots from my dad. And Alan Jackson goes, well, wait a minute. You just said you never talked to anybody about the case. You never talked to your parents about the case.
I know.
And he went, yeah, I know. Basically, yes. And he's like, so you did talk to your dad about the case? And he's like, yeah. I have a fly.
Yeah, he's adult. I describe him as a dullard. Is how I describe him. He's what in the 50s they would have called slow. So I just want to say, did Kevin comment on Colin's multiple collars? No, I did, because they dressed him up like a cute little boy. He had his little Lacoste sweater,
but it was weird.
His little checked shirt. And by the way, he was wearing the same checked shirt in one of the social media photos about him. So I think that's his good shirt. But yeah,
I think mom told him what to wear, and that's what he put together, because I don't know any mother who would
wear your Lacoste sweater.
He was wearing a green and white checkered pinned collared shirt underneath a dark blue Lacoste sweatshirt that had a giant green collar. It was the weirdest thing ever. It wasn't.
I wonder if it was. We think it was real Lacoste or outlet Lacoste. Because either way, it's not cheap. Just saying.
No.
That shit's expensive.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I have to say, it all hits so different now. It hits so different.
Yeah. I want to know, now that I'm thinking about it, you know how there were all these, when Turtleboy was sort of going after Chris Albert and D&E and all that stuff, and he brought up how he is a deadbeat, he owes money for blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm. He hasn't paid his cheese vendor or whatever.
But the interesting thing to me was that they had moved out of a single family home and into a condo about 2 months before John died. And I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe money stuff. Who knows? Maybe I had heard that he and Julie had issues at some point, but that's so many rumors about that. I don't want to allegedly. I don't want to add too much credence. By the way, if you like this allegedly t-shirt, you can buy it from Exhibit B Books in Brooklyn, which is owned by my great friend, Sarah D. Bunting, my great true crime friend. Go to Exhibit B Books, look it up on Google, and she sells this shirt, and it's rad. It's unisex. So by the way, this is a small. I usually wear an extra small. She didn't have it, an extra small. But anyway, I really recommend this shirt. It's very cute, and it's very cute for streaming.
Rebecca, why are you talking about your sexuality?
What do you mean?
You said
allegedly.
Unisex.
I'm just saying that's the sizing.
Why would you say that? Why are we talking about sexuality? This is a true crime podcast.
That's true. Whenever I buy something, though, don't you want to know, the most helpful feature on the Quince website is what size is the model wearing?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was trying to do. And I'm sorry that I made it so sexual. So there are children watching. Just know I'm trying to indoctrinate them with sex talk.
Stop grooming children, Rebecca.
With sex talk.
That's not what Pride Month is about.
Oh yeah, it is. It's about sex talk.
Hey, Jen, thanks for the tip.
So did you see what happened last night?
I saw bits of it. I worked a lot yesterday, and I had some tennis yesterday, and I was cooking dinner for the fam last night. I saw the beginning of it.
Mm.
Sounds like there was some drama. I know that you were on for a minute.
I had to, man. Had to.
I know. Tell me about what happened.
I just want to say, Sarah D. Bunting, I got fired from a job once for looking at Mighty Big TV and television without pity too much. Literally got fired from that job. I've loved her forever, as well as Tara Ariano. They are the founding mothers of snark on the internet, along with Jenny Lawson. She and Tara Ariano had an incredible site called Television Without Pity, which was the first ever TV recap site. Okay, so what had happened was, as they would say, the McAlbert clan. What had happened was I saw a notification from our Facebook group, which, by the way, everybody here should join. It's really fun. Turtleboy and the Glare are having a fight right now on Glare's stream. I was like, what? So I tune in. I start from the beginning, and I put it on 1.5 so I can catch up. And essentially what happened was Turtleboy had very loudly and recklessly said on his stream the other night that anybody who was like making streams about drama and not only talking about his case were dead to him. And when he said that, I was like, that's ridiculous. He's being hyperbolic.
He's so fucking dramatical.
And by the way, he did apologize for that in his stream last night. By the way, if you want to watch Turtleboy sincerely apologize, he apologized sincerely for the Karen Reed recording gate thing and how he handled it. He's apologized sincerely for a bunch of things he said and done. It was really interesting. Anyway, so what had happened was he went on the Glares. The Glare does these petty streams where he just talks shit and does a little bit of drama. Yeah. And he decided to do a petty stream about Aiden because one of the things Aiden had done in his stream where he said the hyperbolic thing was he used Will's name as an example of the kind of person who could be doing other stuff. Now, it was clear to me, only because I'm a mother of two boys that are 18 months apart, that he was actually not talking about Will when he said Will's name, because it was like the safe name to say, so he wouldn't have to say the other name. So like, for instance, as a parent, sometimes you're like, you guys need to get your shit together. Like when Henry, for instance, doesn't clean his room, I get very upset. But really, you're talking about Teddy. You're just saying it's Henry so that Teddy doesn't feel like he's being singled out. Anyway, that's what was going on. Will's whole point was, it doesn't matter if that's what you were trying to do, because what the public hears is you saying me. And you know how gossipy these people are, and they jump on anything. And I'm getting now flamed and being called like you're like dog on a leash or whatever, because so he was really pissed about it. That's what his petty was about. And then Aiden jumped on, and the two of them started like yelling at each other. But I could tell from the beginning that it was a productive fight. I could tell it from the very beginning, because Aiden immediately conceded. And he was like, this is what I was trying to do. And if you weren't, I'm paraphrasing, if you weren't so stupid, you would have heard that I was actually talking about Jess and not talking about you, and blah, 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 blah. And Will was like, doesn't matter, man, because this is what people heard, and blah, 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 blah. And you know, it's like people think that you're trying to tell me what to do on my stream or whatever. But anyway, it started out loud and productive. And then it got like thoughtful and productive, and they kind of worked it out in real time in front of the audience. Yeah. And I was like, this is the most riveting shit. Not for the gossip part, but because I think very gay. I'm going to sound very like stupid here, but I think there's something kind of inspiring about seeing two bombastic men come at each other like those rams with the big horns. And then take a step back in real time and talk it out, as a great example for how like adults and especially adult men should communicate. I suspect both of these men have had therapy at one point in their lives, because they were both actively listening to the other one. And I was like texting you, and I was like, this is riveting. I was like, I've never wanted to be on a stream more than I want to jump on this. And I also texted that to both Will and to Aiden separately. And then when he said he was going to be taking calls, or he dropped the link into the chat, and I just missed it because it went by like this. And I was like, I got to get in here, because I really wanted to point that out. Less so like what they were actually arguing about, which is the Jess Machado drama and how poorly Aiden says she's handling it based on the advice he gave her, and that she's just tripling down, which I agree with, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I really wanted to address how they were communicating. I thought it was so hot. and so cute. And I just wanted to get on there and say so. And I did. And then
Yeah.
Will compared me to an actress from Seinfeld. And Aiden said I looked like what's her face from Sex and the City, which I get all the time. So it was fun. I was happy to jump in, and I just wanted to positively reinforce this incredible, entertaining communication that I was watching. So that's what happened.
Yeah, it was super, super homosexual, and I appreciated it.
It was a little bit gay. It was
a lot.
It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, man.
But here's the thing. I'm saying that as a compliment to them because, you know, gay boys know how to communicate better than straight boys do usually.
It was hot.
I'm using that stereotype.
It was really sexy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like
for some
productive
of us,
productive and
some
sensitive
of us,
communication. Exactly. I think productive and sensitive communication and people wearing their heart on their sleeves is sexy. That's what I think.
Yes.
I don't think Turtleboy or
emotional
Will
intelligence.
Right. I don't want to have sex with either one of those guys, to be clear. But there is that, I use the word sexy as just like appealing. Like, you know, if I were looking for someone,
they're going to get,
that's the kind of characteristics I look for. So
they're both going to get laid so hard.
Not by me. But it was very healthy. It was very productive. It was very lovely. And other people were jumping on and just like, you know, saying, wanting to put their 2 cents in about the Jess situation. I'm like, I just want to put my 2 cents in about the two of you little hotties right now because it was great. So thank you for letting me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
It was good. It was very productive. I appreciated it. It's, you know, it's the way people are supposed to communicate. And this is the point I always make about just being online and arguing with people online is like when you get into a room with somebody, you have to listen to them. You have to hear what they're saying. They are talking to you. They are a real person in your face, even if it's on a screen like this. And so, you know, I do think that we all need to get into more rooms with one another instead of sitting behind the computer and either, you know, talking on a spaces where you're not even in front of a camera or whatever it might be. You know what I mean?
It's like the circle. It's funny because Will's point was like, so Turtleboy is very much like, I wanted to reach out to you privately and talk to you. And I texted you and Will was like, fuck that shit, because the discourse was public. And so I see the point. I think that's actually a good point. Is a private conversation is always number one, but public acknowledgement is important when the public has only seen one side of the conflict. So even when Turtleboy says after recording gate, you know, me and Karen have long after that, like we've worked it out, we're fine. Like that's public acknowledgement that the two of them have spoken. I don't need to know the details. I don't need to know whatever. And I think that Will made a good point in that if you're gonna say something publicly that could come across like a flame, I can react to it because I also have a YouTube show, and we could just talk about it here. And I was like, this is like the old school Howard Stern show when he wouldn't let people fight in the office; they had to do it on the show, and it was so good. It's like bring your conflict to the show, and you know, it was riveting and it was incredibly entertaining. And I would say to people, if you want an entree to these two men, if you've never really watched them or if you avoid them for whatever reason because you have perceptions about them or thoughts about them, this is a good stream to watch, in my opinion.
Agreed. And I also just want to say thank you to Jen, Casey, and Sarah for the tips this morning. You guys are very sweet. I appreciate you.
I put all 3 links. I pinned all 3 links to the...
I saw that. For some reason, it came up like 4 times. Like it looked like they were like,
the formatting was wrong.
Check the channel.
The formatting was wrong. So I had to redo it a couple of times so that the line breaks were there. Because I was copying and pasting from a document, and like the message thing in the chat thing in YouTube doesn't take formatting from other platforms. So that's my fault.
Yep. Well, it's fine. It's working. So thanks for the tips, guys. I really appreciate it. Because you know, YouTube only pays once a month and it's
allegedly
a month behind. And speaking of YouTube, as of this morning before we came on, we are at 9,673 subscriptions, which means that we're just like
317.
Yeah, I'm not here for the math, Rebecca.
I'm good at math that way. I have a math brain. Yes.
Whatever Rebecca said is how far away from 10,000 K we are, which is
27.
Crazy.
Yeah, 327.
327. Yeah, I was like
327. I said 17 because I'm blind and I thought that said 83 from here, but it's 73. 327.
Oh, thanks for becoming a member, Gen X. If you want to become a member, I think it's a good idea because on Monday nights we do Cross Roast, which is our members only stream where Rebecca drinks out of her Parrot mug.
Sure, I do.
Frosty Froze, and I try to embarrass her with cross examinations from trial 1 and trial 2 of the Karen Reed trial, and probably some other things too. I'm going to throw some other things in there that aren't, cross examinations, but it's called Cross Roast for a reason. And we do that on Monday nights at 5:00, and we also do a once a month pop culture members only stream. And then if you want to go up a tier in the memberships, you can do ad-free replays of our lives. So
yes,
become a member. It's a good time. We have a good time.
It is a really good time. And the one thing that I'll say is that, like, I drank a little less this Monday than I have in previous Mondays, which was probably a good idea. Kevin has baseball now, so like he's not home to make. I mean, I used to cook everything, but now he cooks everything, and so I've just been like, I had like a handful of Snyder's before that, but my new Parrot Cup is twice as big. Oh, by the way, if you're the person who won the Parrot Cup and Mel's Cup and an appearance on the show and Jimmy's stream, please get in touch with us or get in touch with him and let us know so we can schedule you on the stream, but also sign our items and mail them to you. So,
Yep. Thanks for becoming a member, Donna. We appreciate you. Rebecca, what are we here to talk about today?
We are here to talk about Colin Albert's opposition to his to appearing, but more so what it is that precipitated that opposition, which was Karen Reed's motion to compel Colin Albert, which is, in my opinion, one of the juiciest filings we've seen in a very long time.
It's pretty fucking good. I did some highlighting.
Good, me too.
A lot of highlighting. This is my draft. Do you want to pull your draft?
No. Yours is fine. I can look at mine separately.
Okay. So basically this was a filing that happened last Friday. So like a week and a half ago. It got buried because of the Proctor, the Scapiccio filing about Proctor and all of the racist texts. And thanks, Carol, for the tip. And Melanie Little did a stream, and I think she was probably one of the first people to notice this. Maybe Brother Counsel. Brother Counsel did a pretty in-depth breakdown of this as well. But I didn't realize what was in this filing. We both had it, and we were both just like, yeah, we'll take a look at it. It's not anything crazy. They're just trying to compel Colin's records, basically. They wanted originally, well, let me get into my notes, because in my notes I break down exactly what happened over the course of like a month and a half.
Can you make it bigger? We're getting a couple requests for that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry.
The reason I missed it, honestly, is because I thought it was just more, and it is. I thought it was just more lawyers swapping dicks about the emails that they did back and forth. And I was like, oh, it's just going to be more of that stupid, dick fight. But it wasn't. There's more in there.
Dick fight. Stop having a dick fight, you guys.
All dicks, no chicks. That's what you get when you get all dicks, no chicks.
I'm going to break down. I'm going to throw a bunch of dates at you, but I swear this will be easy to understand. Okay. So basically, this is the going back and forth between. First of all, this is the O'Keefe filing. This is the O'Keefe civil suit against Karen Reed. It's the wrongful death suit, just to be clear. I know there are like so many civil suits going on.
There's 4, yes.
So Colin is not a part of this suit. He's another party that they want to depose in this suit. Karen Reed's team wants to depose him. Somewhere along the line, he managed to get Tewksbury, who is the attorney for all of these people here. Not all these people. The House defendants.
The Haas plaintiffs in this case. No, these are the O'Keefes. The O'Keefes are not the Haas plaintiffs. Sorry.
I know.
Right. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
He got the same attorney as all the House defendants. So
yes. He
didn't actually have Tewksbury before, but now he does. Okay. So very briefly, on April 29th of this year, a deposition notice was served to Colin Albert by Karen Reed's people. On 4/21, Colin Albert was officially served with a subpoena for his appearance and 4 years of communications with his own parents.
Yes.
On 4/27, 2 days before the deposition was scheduled, Tewksbury, who is now, like I said, also representing Colin Albert, objected to the broad scope of the document request. or the document subpoena. And then Karen's team argued that they can't conduct an effective deposition without documents, obviously. I mean, that's just sort of that's an obvious thing. And that they would shorten the length of the docs to just 4 months from the time that John O'Keefe died till 4 months later. Colin Albert's communications, text, WhatsApp, Snapchat, email, anything, any communications between Colin and his parents for 4 months after John died.
Hell yeah.
And then there was weeks of silence from Colin's team or his lawyers. And then, so this is, keep in mind, this started on 4/21. So April 21st, it is now May 20th, one whole month later. Colin's team says they will not produce any documents. And they also announce that Colin Albert will be leaving indefinitely after June 2nd. Right. At that point in time, Diller, who is the lead attorney for the plaintiffs on the wrongful death suit, gets involved on May 23rd, which is going into a holiday weekend, by the way. And he schedules Colin's deposition for 5/28. 5/28, Colin is deposed. Karen's team doesn't attend because they say the depo is illegal because Diller only gave them 5 days notice instead of 7, which is required by Massachusetts civil procedures.
When you say illegal, you don't mean criminal. You mean like against the rules.
Yeah. Okay. So this goes back to the last hearing that we witnessed where basically Karen's team, Rosenberg, stood up and said that Colin refused. And what he meant by that, he had to correct that record. And so he did it via letter. And that letter was deemed inappropriate, improper by the judge. And so they had to file separately in that case, to make it real. In this case, however, Colin is not a part of this case, but he needs to be deposed because it pertains to Karen's proving that she's innocent, basically. Colin's defense in this situation is that on the 2nd of June, he's going to the Army. So that was verified.
Which he told his lawyer the day before he told his
lawyer. The day
doesn't mean he decided to enlist the day before, but he told his lawyer he had decided to apply the day before, and the next day contacted his lawyer and said, "Guess what? I'm in."
Yeah.
Shady.
Tuxbury also says in one of the filings that Colin searched all of his records and has zero with a Z communications with his parents regarding the investigation into John O'Keefe's death, except for the one text with Allie, which we know to be not real. And Tuxbury says
allegedly.
There's nothing. It's not allegedly. Like, let's look at the facts.
Listen, I'm being cheeky, but yes.
This is not there. I mean, I feel pretty confident in saying that is a faked text message, and we can show it on the screen and show everybody why it is that way. Tuxbury says there's nothing relevant in any of his emails, which means there's stuff in there that's relevant. He said, and then Tuxbury also goes on to say that because Karen Reed's team postponed the 4/29 deposition to fight over these documents, that their subpoena expired. However, these people are dumbasses. And in this filing, they included all the back and forth emails. And in one of the emails from Karen Reed's team, it says, we're going to reschedule this deposition. So Tuxbury saying that because Karen Reed's team postponed the 4/29 depo to fight over the documents means that the subpoena has expired is incorrect. They should have sent Colin's lawyers are saying that they should have sent a lawyer to the 5/28 deposition if they really wanted to depose Colin. Now, from what brother counsel is explaining, you even if they do have 10 lawyers, you don't just send any associate or any one of those 10 lawyers to a last minute deposition that is being held by the a party that is like
the opposing side. Yeah.
Well, more favorable to Colin, at least.
Right.
Because on a case this big, there would be one lawyer assigned to Colin Albert's deposition, and he or she would have been doing all this research and would have known what to ask and would have known all these things. So you can't just send a random associate or another attorney to this. And also, they didn't give them 7 days notice. They gave them 5 days notice on a holiday weekend when everyone else had already left the office, right? So that's sort of the background of the back and forth of this. And then it seems like in this situation, Karen Reed's lawyers were like, okay, fuck this. We're putting everything in writing. Here's everything that happened. And here is why we need this, all these documents from Colin. And then they give a background of the case. And it's pretty short, but I think it's important. So I'm going to read it really quickly if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Is that all right with you, Rebecca?
100%. Just
So
can I
this is
just say something real quick?
Yes.
Because I'm going to forget.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
highlighted something in blue in my notes. This is for later when we talk about Colin in the stand. There's one moment that I think is so fucking important. And I'm only saying that now so that I don't forget it later so you could remind me.
You highlighted it on the notes file, right?
I highlighted it in blue. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Got it.
I just want to make sure that we don't forget to look at that one moment.
We have the time code for that.
I do.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Sorry.
No. Totally fine. Don't ever apologize for that kind of stuff. So this is the filing. These are the background facts as far as Karen Reed's team sees it. Colin Albert has relevant information pursuant to Mass R Civ P26. Colin Albert was at 34 Fairview Road, and then in parentheses, we'll call it the house, the night John O'Keefe died. He had a history of violent tendencies, and specifically, he and Mr. O'Keefe had a series of prior disputes. On the night Mr. O'Keefe died at the house, Colin had been drinking alcohol with friends, and that drinking party continued at the house late night.
Mm.
The exact time Colin left the house is a heavily disputed fact in this case. Regardless, however, when Mr. O'Keefe arrived at the house around 12:30 a.m. on January 29th, 2022, the medical evidence demonstrates conclusively that he was beaten up, punched in the face, and knocked backwards, sustaining a fatal wound to the back of his head. In the immediate aftermath, those individuals in the house, referred to as the house defendants in Miss Reed's federal court action, attempted to cover up their role in Mr. O'Keefe's death. For Colin's part, he claims he left prior to Mr. O'Keefe's death and was picked up from the house by his best friend, Allie McCabe, and driven straight home. However, the timing of his arrival at home is inconsistent with when he claims he departed the house. Moreover, in a photograph taken shortly after January 29th, 2022, which was, I think, within 3 weeks, Colin had scabs on his knuckles of his dominant hand that one would expect to see as a result of a fist fight. Additionally, Colin is tightly connected both to the house defendants and the lead investigator for the Massachusetts State Police in the death of Mr. O'Keefe. Specifically, Colin is the nephew of Brian Albert, who owns the house. Allie McCabe is the daughter of house defendants Jennifer and Matthew McCabe. Brian Albert, Jennifer and Matthew McCabe were all at the house when Mr. O'Keefe died. Colin was also close family friends with Michael Proctor, the conflicted and corrupt MSP investigator that refused to investigate the house defendants and attempted instead to, quote unquote, pin it on the girl, Ms. Reed. Mm. Not only was Colin at Proctor's sister's wedding, he was in Proctor's sister's wedding party. Proctor's mother circulated a public Facebook post in October of 2019 declaring the Alberts are the quote-unquote Proctor's second family, and includes a photo of Colin Albert and his parents, among a mountain of evidence demonstrating that Proctor attempted to unlawfully protect those in the house. Proctor's written notes he took early in the investigation show he knew Colin was in the house that night. This is very important. Proctor attempted to unlawfully protect those in the house. Proctor's written notes he took early in the investigation show he knew Colin was in the house that night, but when he prepared his official report, he omitted Colin's name to hide his involvement that night.
That's right.
Despite being present at the house after midnight on January 29th, 2022, Colin was not interviewed by the MSP until July 18th of 2023.
Right.
In a report of the interview, Proctor writes that Colin was picked up shortly after midnight by Allie McCabe, revealing for the first time the presence of yet another witness, Allie, and another vehicle, hers, outside the house that was never investigated.
That's right.
Despite this new information, Proctor failed to confirm Colin's statements by seizing his cell phone or Allie's or pulling carrier records. He just took Colin's word for it, or rather, took his father, Chris Albert's word for it. On September 1st, 2023, Trooper Yuri Buchanan authored a 6-sentence report stating that he had contacted Colin, quote, in an attempt to have him turn over text messages he had captured screenshots of between Allie McCabe and himself on January 29th, 2022, end quote. There is no report memorializing what prompted Buchanan to call Colin, how Buchanan had obtained Colin's phone number, or how he became aware that Colin was suddenly in possession of text message evidence. In his report, Buchanan goes on to say that he contacted Chris Albert because Chris, not Colin, was in possession of screenshots of Colin's and Allie's text messages. These messages were shared by the NDAO as mere cut and paste of screenshots of text into a PDF document.
Mhm.
They contained no metadata to confirm their accuracy, nor is there any audit trail of when and how Chris Albert came into possession of Colin's messages. These texts, their origin, and most importantly, their metadata, help prove the whereabouts of relevant witnesses on January 29th, as well as communications among the Alberts, Proctor, and Buchanan that are not otherwise memorialized. Not only did MSP investigators fail to seize Colin's phone, they failed to seize Chris Albert's or Allie McCabe's phones and merely relied on screenshots of supposed messages passed from witness to witness without any authentication. Data downloaded. Here's the important part. This is what everybody's freaking out about. Oh, shit. Where'd that go? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to click on that. Okay. Data downloaded from the Life 360 application on Jennifer McCabe's phone shows time-stamped notifications of Allie McCabe's arrival and departures from addresses throughout the early morning hours of January 29th. Not only does the Life 360 data prove that Allie McCabe did not travel straight home after dropping off Colin, as she told Buchanan in an August 25th, 2023 interview. More importantly, the data shows no evidence of an arrival or a departure from 34 Fairview or Colin's house at any time on January 29th. Allie also could not tell MSP investigators how she knew Colin was at the house on January 29th, and no communication from Colin relaying his location to Allie is included in the screenshots of their text messages.
Right.
For reasons and more, Colin has relevant information about what happened the night of January 29th, his communications with the House defendants and others concerning Mr. O'Keefe's death and the Proctor investigation. Indeed, his role was so important to the Commonwealth that it called him as a witness in Miss Reed's first criminal trial. Whew.
So, well, my first thought was that Colin, we know that Colin called Tom Beatty's daughter at 12:33. Okay. I think he was either still in the house and stayed at the house for a long period of time after. I've always suspected that Chris and Julie, or at least Chris, was there, but taking them off the table right now. I think he was still at the house at that point. I've never believed the Allie picked him up story. It made absolutely no sense. He had to go from one house, or his friend's house, to go say happy birthday to his cousin. He was there for an extremely short period of time and then left as his uncle, who supplies all the booze, was arriving home, right? It never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. And I was very relieved to hear Turtleboy say this too. I always thought he was just still at the house. I mean, he was excised from, we know he's excised from the investigation. We know the FBI went sniffing around in the latter half of 2023. And that, likely is what prompted Chris to stick his nose in and be like, kids, we need to come up with something that shows that you guys have an alibi that night. And like them manufacturing their screenshot thing came from that. We know that the FBI starting to Turtleboy writing about stuff starting in April, and then the FBI sniffing around was what caused all these people to change their stories and act. There are so many things that never appear and are never discussed before that. Another person who was completely excised from the story was Sarah Levinson. She was never there. No one ever talked about her being there.
The other 3 girls that were there before.
That's right. Right.
Yes.
But Sarah Levinson is important because she's a nurse.
Right.
So, there's a thought that if he was injured, critically injured, and he was vomiting all over himself and convulsing, there was literally a nurse there. And even if it happened in the garage and she didn't know about it, they did know there was a medical professional in the house. Yep. So I think that all of this points more and more. And I've always I've gone back and forth on this. I've always thought Colin was in the room, if not through the punch. I think Higgins is the one who instigated all this. Higgins' issue with Karen is the one that brought all of this about. But I think the over the top efforts they have gone to excise him from this story, to me, throws so much more shade on it. Turtleboy said something on this show a couple years ago that I've never forgotten, which is, if John O'Keefe never went in the house, why would it matter if Colin was there or not? And they did everything they could to remove him from that scene.
Yes, they did. Yes, they
and
did.
as we know, every lie they tell, everything that they say that is important, always points to the thing they don't want you to see. So saying that Colin was never there so emphatically means that he was likely means that he was there. So,
and possibly involved. I mean, when I started thinking, I texted you last night because I was like, in the very beginning, when I heard that nobody was saying Colin was in the house, and then it came up much later, and that there was the anonymous tip that turned out to be Steve Scanlon saying it was the nephew and Brian Albert. I was like, ugh. Okay, well, it sounds like Colin was in the house. But then as time went on, and then Cannoni in the second trial eliminated Colin Albert as a third party culprit, I was like, well, then I guess we can't really, she must have more information than I do to know that Colin did not have anything to do with this, right? That was my assumption. I was trying to believe the best in the justice system. When I see stuff like this, and when a filing comes out that says we have Jen McCabe's phone data for her Life 360, and Allie never went to 34 Fairview and never went to Colin's house, we have a major problem here. And now I'm actually starting to believe again that Colin was in the house for much longer than they said he was, and that he had something to do with this. And then whenever the argument comes up, well, in order for this conspiracy to work, 40 people would have had to been involved.
Bullshit.
And blah, 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 blah.
Bullshit.
When one promising young white boy is involved, and there's an entire family around that kid wanting to protect that one kid. And then I went into the psychology of who's the dad of that kid. It's Chris Albert. Chris Albert, who I said, Rebecca, I'll show you guys in a second.
You got it. I died. It's so funny.
It's so silly. But I was like, I don't know about this, you guys. I think there was a milkman involved. They
really don't resemble each other in any way.
No, they don't.
And he keeps insisting that Allie and he are cousins, and they're actually not cousins. I think they're just the family members that call each other cousins. No, they're not. They're not. And I think they look more alike than he does with his dad. But that's,
same.
Neither here nor there.
Same. When I started thinking about who Chris is, and Chris was this guy who was a drunk idiot like his son, got himself into trouble by getting into a hit and run where somebody was killed, ran away from the scene to Big Brother Brian's house, his home where he grew up, to hide from the cops, and then ended up getting, convicted of this crime. And he went to jail for like 60 days, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after running away.
Right. And I'm sure that until Chris got D&E Pizza and became a town selectman, his life was probably on the fringes a little bit, because you don't recover from that kind of stuff so quickly.
I think you do if you're an Albert, though, right?
Maybe. I mean, maybe. But my point is that he didn't want to see the same things happen to his son that happened to him for a dumb mistake he made when he was drunk and stupid and a kid.
But they did nothing to prevent him from making dumb mistake after dumb mistake after dumb mistake. They knew he was throwing beer cans on people's lawns. Yeah. They knew he was, involved with thuggery. They saw his social media. They're with him in social media posts, all putting their fingers up. Like they enable and protect. Enable and protect. And the 40 to 50 thing, people think, someone just said this on Twitter too. It's like, no. Many people involved in this investigation did think Karen Reed did it. They're not involved in a conspiracy to frame her. They're in a conspiracy to put their thumb on the scales to get her convicted. But the people in the house, like 5-6 core people is really all it takes. And that's exactly what happened. So,
yeah. And I'm just like, the psychology of this, like everybody, Colin was like the young, about to be going into manhood, attractive, Albert, and if he did something dumb and he was drunk and dumb and underage and he did something stupid, they didn't want his life to be ruined like Chris's was for a little bit. And that's all obviously conjecture and my opinion, but the psychology fits in my opinion.
It does.
And I just want everyone to take a look at this picture because I don't think I was like, Rebecca, do you think that Chris is actually his dad?
It's one of the funniest texts you have ever sent me.
I just like, don't know.
It's so funny. Yeah, I know. And everyone's like, look what he's wearing. He's wearing the green checked shirt.
Yeah, there it is.
It's his good shirt that he wears for special occasions. Put on your good shirt, Colin. That's my good shirt.
Yeah. So this, I found this tweet to be really interesting too. This was tweeted by Olivia Lambo, which I don't know. I don't know anything about Olivia Lambo. Don't come at me if you don't like Olivia Lambo. The tweet says, can we discuss how, according to Julie and Chris Albert's interview, they both, in fact, did go to 34 Fairview after the Waterfall Bar? Not only is this stated and confirmed in their interviews, it's reiterated. But yet nobody seems to talk about the fact that Colin Albert's parents were also present at 34 Fairview that night, the night John O'Keefe was murdered. Why is that? I don't know that to be true. Do you know that to be true?
Oh, what? That they were present?
That Chris and Julie were present at the house that night?
I believe they were. Chris, because Chris, his timing, he's told a bunch of different stories around this. And one of his timings was that is that when he says that Colin came home, when they say Colin came home, like he wouldn't have even been back from the waterfall yet. Like if he it's like none of it makes sense. Julie claims she had a migraine and couldn't go. Like they took themselves out of that story and they happen to be the ones who are Colin's parents. And they removed themselves. And I think some of this shenanigans with the Jeep stuff or whatever, all that stuff, part of it is to be like, ignore the other car that was there. You know what I mean? Some of it could have been that. I've actually always suspected that they were there pretty strongly, but.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm like, that wasn't really verified. It wasn't in court that Julie and Chris were there. But then there's this, which is, this is to Tully from Buchanan. And it's from the interview of Julie and Chris Albert. And it says, both Julie and Chris were present at the Waterfall Bar and Grill the night of January 28th, and then followed to Brian Albert's home in the early morning hours of January 29th. That goes against what they testified to. And so I'm like, I do think they were there. Shortly after,
because there's just too many weird
migraine. And left the bar to go home. So which one's true, guys? Which one's true?
Well, if there's two different stories, neither one of them is probably true.
Right.
Ford Edge. Someone asked about this. Colin owned a Ford Edge, as did Brian Albert.
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions, I think, about Chris and Julie. The timeline is that Colin left. Allie picked Colin up at 12:10 and brought him to his house, which was 2 minutes away from 34 Fairview, by the way. And it had just started snowing. So it wasn't like it was icy. It wasn't like it was crazy out. And then Chris Albert says he got home to the condo at 20 past, which means he would have come home after Colin.
No, because he said that Colin came home after Julie said that Colin tucked her in, which is such a weird detail.
Okay, but Julie and Chris also both said they were already in bed when Colin came in and said, "Night, mommy and daddy, I'm home okay and safe and sound. Good night. I love you. This is what I do every night." There's also been mention that, and I don't know what filing this was in, but I just read it, that Colin said he had to leave at 12 because his curfew was at midnight.
Bullshit.
Exactly. This is like a new thing. This is a new
thing. For his
thing.
cousin's birthday party on a fucking Friday night. Bullshit.
Well, and also he was at Mikey's partying before he came to Brian Albert Jr.'s. How did he get to 34 Fairview to begin with? Do we know?
Well, one of the theories is that that Allie did bring him there, and that text that says 12:10 is actually him asking her to pick him up from the other place, and that they may have changed the time. to be on this, so it would have been before midnight on the 28th. That's one theory.
Okay. The issue is that if the Life 360 data says that Allie never went to 34 Fairview
on the 29th,
ever that night.
On the 29th. Right. It doesn't say that anything about the 28th.
Okay.
But also, who knows how he got there? I mean, I think it matters less than the fact that he was definitely there for a show.
This is going to be kind of hard to see, I think.
I think he was calling Tom Beatty's daughter to make her the person who gave him rides all around that night instead of Allie, and Allie got thrown into it later.
Yeah. So this is the screenshot of the text messages.
Can you make it bigger? Is that possible or not?
I can't really because it's on Twitter.
It's fine. It's fine.
So these are two screenshots next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the left, you can see up in the, this is one thing you can see on the screen. Up in the left-hand corner, there's a little yellow sticker. That's an evidence sticker. So this is what was actually in the file. This one here on the left.
Handed to Buchanan handed to the investigators by Chris Albert.
So here's what's important on this one. Do you see where my little mouse is? You can't really see it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it says January 28th, 2022, 11:54 p.m. And if you all want to pick up your iPhones right now and take a look at your timestamps, you're going to notice that there is no comma after 2022 on your dates. And on this one, you can't really see it, but there's no comma on this one. So I don't know where this one came from.
Could be version histories. I mean, there's things that could, there's no comma after the date, after the number and the date on my text messages. I'm looking at ones from last year.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at our thread, Mel. I'm using our thread as my test, just FYI.
So it says from Colin in blue, it says, you can get me now, period. And then if it's easier. And this is at 11:54 p.m. This is what you're talking about, Rebecca, that there is some debate that this text was actually sent for her to come pick him up from Mikey's.
Correct. Which would not be on the 29th.
Right. And then the next text is from Allie and it says, okay, I'm driving people home now. The interesting thing to me is, and I don't know if it's just that you can't see it, but there are no text bubbles around this.
Yeah, in that one there aren't, but there are. It's a shitty copy. On the right there are. Now remember, this is so on the left is then the right is Colin's screen, and on the left would be Allie's screen. Wait, which one is Colin's? Is this just Allie's you have up? I think you just have Allie. You just have Colin's up with communications from Allie, and there's also a matching version that's Allie's screenshot, which shows Colin at the top.
Right. So at 11:54, he says, you can come get me if it's easier. She says, okay, I'm driving people home right now. He says, word, get me after. She says, KK. And at 12:10 a.m., she says, here. Colin testified that within 30 seconds to a minute, he went outside and got in the car with her. So he's saying he left the house at 12:10. There is no way he got home after his dad, if that's true.
Right. Correct.
But the problem here is that these texts are not real. At least this top one is not real.
I think the most damning thing is the absence of any texts between then and the end of February. That's the most damning thing.
Right. Yeah.
So then what happens
after is that from January 29th, 2022 to February, sometime in February, the two of these kids don't talk to each other, even though they talk to each other every single day, multiple texts, multiple other platforms a day. And the next text you see is February 20th when Allie says on a Zoom, and then Colin says, are you going to Will's? Now, the interesting thing about it is when Allie says on a Zoom, to me, that sounds like a response to something.
Yes, it is.
Because
he's saying, are you free? You free?
But he doesn't say that. It's not in the text messages. Did you notice that? Here, let me pull it back up.
It 100% would be. The comma to me has always been very suspect. I've never had a comma on mine. I don't know if there's an iOS version where there is a comma, but I don't have one. I just looked at some messages between my friends and I from March 22nd, 2025, no comma at 9:23 a.m. So it's wild that this was allowed in. Absolutely
This is
wild.
interesting because what's cut off, what's redacted in the evidence file, which is the one here on the left where it's in color, you can see. What's redacted here at the bottom is what you see over here. So there's no communication from this okay on the 29th of January 2022 to February 20th. And the first text message between them is Allie saying on a Zoom, just out of the blue after.
Unless, as somebody pointed out, he could have called her and she texted back.
Yes, absolutely. However, after almost a month of no communication between the two, after a guy died on your uncle's lawn, and you were at the house and everyone knows it. So there's a lot here between Allie and Colin.
This is why we watched Colin's testimony again.
Yeah. So this is what Rebecca and I did yesterday. She went through, you went through both. I ended up
doing both. Yeah. I did Colin's cross-examination. I did Allie both, and I did Colin's cross-examination. And who boy, was it wild.
Okay. Here's what I want to say before we get into this. I have to go to the bathroom because I'm in menopause. Do you mind just saying
100%.
hi to some people in the?
I will absolutely say hi to some people,
and I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I will have you on my earbuds so I can.
Yeah. So this is in dispute. Whether or not you'd have a new date too depends on when the screenshot was taken. This is something that some people, I've seen conflicting results on my own phone around this. No credible prosecution would use screenshots. Correct. Lori, none of their timelines add up. Innocent people do not lie like this. Correct. One thing you'll see in Colin's testimony when he watch it is the number of times he says, I don't remember or I don't know. And at one point, Alan Jackson asked him, did someone tell you to say that when you didn't want to answer a question? And he's like, no. And next question, I don't remember. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Like, she's his personal chauffeur. All of her relatives supposedly inside, and she just stays in the car. Yeah, it's always been weird to me too. But she did do a ton of driving that night, as we'll see if we watch Allie's testimony. There's all this Life 360 stuff that shows she left her house once and took a 7-mile trip. She left again and took a 12-mile trip. She was driving until like 2 a.m. It's actually kind of wild. Maddie McCabe probably generated. I don't know, because it's not that sophisticated. It's really not. And because it's a screenshot, you can just put it in. You could put it in Paint and do something with it, which is something that I do all the time. That Mel hates it that I do that. Allie's name is Offset. Somebody says. Okay, I don't necessarily think Beatty's daughter may have driven Colin, but I do wonder if Beatty's daughter got the call at 12. Like, why else would he be calling her at 12:33? Like, why else? Unless he wanted to tell her something. Like, can you say I was at your house right now? I know the ride thing is what came up, but like, I just can't think. That timing is very weird. Okay. It would have been impossible if Chris had left at the time we saw him leave in the waterfall tape, because he was the last to leave and he, quote, walked home, so he would have gotten home after Colin. 100% correct. Also, you might remember Chris Albert is the one seen holding Higgins back at the door when he appears to be like pointing at and trying to sort of like be communicative with John O'Keefe in some way. We see Chris pulling back. So to kind of think that Chris wouldn't want to be involved in the follow-up to that it's not as believable to me. I can imagine he'd want to see kind of what transpired over there. Yes. Sweet baby Colin came upstairs to give his mom a kiss goodnight. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I've got mama's boys, like, big time. One of them more than the other. And like, would he pop into our room at midnight ever and to tuck us, quote, tuck us in? Nope. No. So when are we watching Colin?
Well, how do you want to handle this? Do you want to do Allie first?
We were talking. Can we do Allie second? Only because Colin's is so good. I can pull up the one I have that uses my timestamps, or you can pull up yours. It's up to you.
I have the same timestamps that you have.
Okay.
I may have a couple of extra.
Okay.
A couple extra. Yeah. So I did most of the timestamps from the cross-examination. There's one
32:15 is when it starts.
But there's one that I found interesting that is in the direct.
Okay.
So let me get Colin up here on the screen.
One thing you'll notice, I would actually encourage you to notice this, and when we're watching tape from trial 1. Bev Canoni has way more patience with and fairness for the defense team in trial 1.
Yep.
She allows more of their objections. She overrules more of Lally's objections. She's more open about letting things in, which is also how they ended up getting some of the harassment in from Allie, because she's like, doors open. Like, she seems like a slightly sharper judge in this trial. But I just think she was so pissed at Alan Jackson in trial 2 the whole time. So that didn't help.
God, I have like 2 flies in the pod and they're making me crazy. Okay.
Oh, I hate that.
Here's Colin, baby.
To that date of January 20th.
You need some fly paper.
With any troopers from the
I know.
Yes. And you were asked questions.
Okay, so
correct.
Can you turn it up a little to the voice boost?
Yep, just a second.
What, if anything, did you provide them with reference?
So the first part I'm going to go so at 27 minutes or so into this video, this is a direct. These are the texts with Allie. This is what we just looked at. That's why I wanted to sort of go over it.
Right.
Okay, hold on.
And by the way, I want to commend the trial channel for cutting out all the pauses and breaks out of this. It makes it so easy to watch.
They even cut out one of the sirens from the emergency vehicles that are outside.
When they have to wait for a siren, and they cut out when they send the jury out and back in. So it's all just like tight. It's so good.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
Your phone.
Can you rephrase that? Sorry.
At some point, did you provide them with a screenshot of a text communication between yourself and Ms. McCabe?
Yes.
And was that something that you took a screenshot on your own phone and then were able to then provide it to them?
Correct.
You may approach?
Yes.
Thanks for the Baker raid.
Actually look at it and then look up when you finish.
Hey, everybody.
And you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
What do you recognize that?
My text messages between Allie that night.
And what's contained on that, is that a fair and accurate portrayal of what you recall as far as the text messages, what was on your phone, as far as what you took a screenshot of?
I have this sped up, by the way. Let me know if it's too fast.
Yes, sir.
For this, it's fine. For the beginning of his cross, I think it should be real time and then sped up.
All right. And jurors, remember the instruction I gave you about the text messages. Thank you. Okay.
So what's up on the screen, is that what you got before you exhibit 84?
Yes.
There's a good, you can see the comma there.
Contact is listed at the top states tab. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that how you had MCK programmed into your phone?
Correct.
And from this, there's 2 sets of communications, one containing blue bubbles and one containing non-blue bubbles, correct?
Yes.
If you know the blue bubbles, is that you or is that Mr. McCabe?
That's me.
So the other side would be Mr. McCabe, is that correct?
Correct.
There's also times that are stamped or associated with these text bubbles and with text communications, Mr. McCabe.
Yes.
If I could direct your attention, maybe easier if you're looking at the paper in front of you, but just sort of starting from the top, January 28, 2022, if you could read for the jury what the content is, what the time is, and indicate who is communicating.
At 11:54, I texted Allie and said, "You can get me now, period." At 11:54, I texted her again and said, "If easier." At 11:55, Allie texted me back and said, "Okay, I am driving people home now." At 11:55, I said, "Word." And then at 11:55, I said, "Get me after." At 11:55, Allie wrote back at KK. And then at 12:10 a.m., Allie wrote here. And at 12:10 a.m., I wrote back, "Okay."
Now, sir, with respect to that last communication that you sent as far as okay, how long after that message was sent did you then go out to the car where Allie was?
Right after, I'd say around 30 seconds.
Okay, so I just wanted to establish that because that's his time frame.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Albert, who did you talk to?
Slow it down a little bit.
So
Slow down
this
all the way. Slow down to like 1 1/4. This is so good. This is like he gets caught in a lie immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Well, his entire testimony is a lie, Rebecca.
Right. But the fact that he gets caught immediately, it's not a good way to start.
No. But the crazy thing is he's getting caught while it's happening and he's being called out and his face is blank. And Bev's not like, why is this kid lying? I mean,
I said this to Kevin last night.
There.
Yeah. That's the most important moment of this whole hearing. I have that. That is the most important moment. So his blankness, I was watching it. I'm like, he is either high, a dullard, or a psychopath. Like he has no affect at all. And the ease with which he like uses certain language and stuff in front of the jury and the judge. And he's just like, oh, because I thought he was a pussy. Like he just says shit like that. No respect for the forum that he's in. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, he's like expressionless.
Mhm.
He every once in a while glances over at like mom and dad or whoever,
Or the
not mom and
jury
dad,
when
but
he's lying.
or he glances over at Lally or the box over there. But eesh. Okay, so this is the beginning of Alan Jackson's Cross.
Starting yesterday
Can you rephrase that question?
in order to prepare.
Okay.
So I just want to say one other thing. The very first question Alan asks him, which is very clear, the first thing he says is, "Can you rephrase that question?"
Which is trial prep language for slow
Yes.
down. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Albert, who did you talk to in order to prepare for your testimony starting yesterday?
Can you rephrase that question, please?
What?
Phrase the question. You didn't understand
What?
my question?
No.
What?
Who did you speak to in order to prepare for your testimony yesterday?
My lawyer.
Other than your lawyer, who did you speak to prepare for your testimony yesterday?
No one.
Did you speak to your parents?
No.
Nope.
Did you
Lies.
speak to your mom, your dad?
Nope.
Lies.
At
When he
any
says
time
nope,
before yesterday
especially.
about your testimony or your statements?
Nope.
Did you discuss with your parents their testimony?
No.
So after they got off the witness stand, your dad didn't come home and say, "Here's how my day went"?
No.
No.
Your mom didn't come home and say, "Here's how my day went"?
Nope.
Nope.
The Albert family just ignored the fact that both of them testified in a court of law before a jury about the events of January 29th, 2022. Nothing was ever said.
No.
Did you talk to Mr. Lally at any point?
It is a preppy costume.
Before yesterday in preparation for your testimony?
Before yesterday, you said?
Correct.
Yes.
Tell me when.
Want to say a month ago about.
What did you talk about?
I got prepped for this.
Tell me what that means.
Here we
What
go.
does it mean to prep for this?
What I'm going to be getting asked.
Remember
What
my
I'm
first
going
question?
to be
Very
getting
first question
asked.
was,
Remember
Alex said
my
you spoke
first
to
question.
anybody in order to prepare for your testimony, and you said no.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not true. I spoke with Mr. Lally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
Okay.
okay? It's yes or no?
Yes.
You said that was about a month ago, correct?
Correct. Around a month ago.
Tell me what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Around a month.
So here's the thing. Bev is sitting here and she watches this entire thing, including the voir dire, right? And she knows that he's lying because he continues getting caught in lies.
Right.
But she does what all of the antis expect all of us to do with him, which is go, he's just a dumb young kid. He doesn't know he's lying.
Boy.
He's just a baby.
By the way, you can
And
buy you can buy a quarter zip just like this on eBay for $115 in case you're curious.
A what?
A quarter zip Lacoste sweater like this on eBay. Just FYI. In case you want one.
That collar is ridiculous. And it's just ridiculous with that shirt.
The green and aqua together is not great.
I really think he's nervous because he had involvement in John's death and does feel guilt, Callie said. I think based on the story that we heard from Lindsay Gaetani, this kid, I think, probably is harboring a ton of guilt. He's probably not even sure what he did. He's probably not even sure like what's happening. No, Rosie said, how old is he? 17? He's 20 here. He's 20 when he's testifying.
Correct.
I just think that like we're still getting tweeted at, leave the kids alone. These are grown ass motherfucking adults. I'm sorry.
Also, to be fair, even if he was 17 at the time that all this happened, he was also very comfortably on the internet being visibly violent to other people.
Trying to be a man.
Yes. Yelling at
and
the
it's
pussies.
like leave the kids alone, you guys. You're monsters. Leave the kids alone. This kid is now what, 23, 24 years old, and he's going into the military. He is not a child. He's not a child when he's taking the stand either. He's 20 years old. He is dumb like a child, but, and obviously my opinion, I think
don't
he's
know dumber than that, frankly.
I think here's the thing. If they think sending him off to the military is going to fix their problems, you know what I think is going to happen? I think Colin's going to be like, oh shit, I don't have to be around my family at all anymore. I don't have to hide my secrets anymore. I'm going to get drunk one night and tell one of my buddies what happened, or some girl, because I know he wanted to tell Lindsay what happened.
I think
And now
he has
he's-
told people, frankly, but I think
do
he's
too.
like scary, like Brian, to the people he's told are
Yeah.
just like, I'm not fucking getting involved in this, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ugh. Okay. So that was the first lie. And then I just showed you the text with Allie. I want to skip ahead. Let me make sure that I'm not missing anything that you have here.
I have. Some of mine are not necessary. Some are. I have. Oh,
Photos of
3251. Cold
Yeah.
as ice. I mean,
Okay, let me
that's right
pull
after
that
this, but I don't think that you need to.
It's right before it.
Yeah.
Maybe we're on a different video because
At an
Alan
hour
Jackson
10,
wasn't.
an hour
Yeah.
6, I have the Knuckles photo.
Okay. Let's bring that one up. Wait, I had
Also,
something before that.
I can just summarize a couple of things. He doesn't know words. His memory always fails him.
Right.
He doesn't know what a phone
Right.
extraction nor metadata are.
At least he says he doesn't.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
Correct.
You're also aware that, according to you, Allie McCabe was the one that picked you up and took you from that location.
Correct.
And notwithstanding the fact of this tragedy, you and Allie didn't text each other one time for a month. Is that right?
I don't think that's correct.
So where are those texts?
We text on other platforms too. So I'd say other apps.
So is
Maybe
there a
you should
reason
produce
why
those.
you decided for the next month to just switch platforms to maybe Snapchat?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
No reason.
Are you sure that you switched platforms?
I'd say so, yeah.
Why did you switch platforms?
So confident.
We go back and forth, I'd say, between platforms texting.
You switched platforms because you know that Snapchat deletes all communications, correct?
Objection.
Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Do you know that Snapchat has an auto delete function on it?
If your app is set to that, yes.
Your app was set to that, wasn't it?
I do not remember that.
So again, your memory is failing you.
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Once again, your memory is failing you. You just don't
Objection.
remember.
Objection.
Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Isn't it true, Mr. Albert, that you either switched platforms or deleted the texts because you did not want your text communications with Allie McCabe to be discovered?
Objection.
Overruled.
Is that right?
That's not
Overruled,
true.
see?
So where are those communications?
I do not know.
Can't produce them right now, can you?
I'm not sure.
So in the days, the hours, and days, and weeks.
He is like
following
he's very
the death of John
childlike.
O'Keefe,
I mean, his brain
your
is not
communications
developed,
with your
to be
best
fair,
friend,
No.
Allie,
but he's not a
the person who
10-year-old.
gave you a ride home that night.
No.
They're just gone. Right?
Okay, let's be very fair to him for a moment. This is a very difficult situation. This is a terrifying situation. He's got to get his story right. It makes it even more terrifying if he actually is lying because he has to make sure he gets his story right, because if he doesn't, everything comes crumbling down around him
That's
and
right.
his entire family.
He's
So,
been coached
ter-
heavily for this. It's pretty clear.
heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a terrifying situation. I don't what? Oh man.
Both the
He's-
screen name and the comment. The lawyer you blow says he's like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. That's rough. That's rough,
that
lawyer
is-
you bro.
It's pretty rough.
You said it, not me.
And somebody mentioned I don't know who it was, but somebody mentioned something about Pamela Smart and how I'm always talking about how she was only 22 and her brain hadn't fully developed. Yeah, she was on trial for an accomplice to murder and was facing life without parole. And we shouldn't be, if Colin, I'll put it this way, if Colin ends up being the one who did this and he gets put on trial and is facing life without parole, I will feel exactly the same way I do about Pamela Smart as I
He
do
was
about
17 at the
Colin
time.
Albert, because he was 17 at the time and he's 20 when he's taking the stand. And if he's lying at 20, he's a dummy, but he's also being bullied by these people that bully everybody else that we see on the internet. So I feel exactly the same. I know that you're trying to do a gotcha there, whoever said it, but I feel exactly the same. If Colin is the one who actually is put on trial for this, I'm going to feel the same if he gets life without or is facing life without. His brain is not fully developed. We can see that. And I will say this too. If Colin is the one who punched John and caused the accident to happen, caused him to fall back and hit his head. And then the adults covered it up for him.
It's their fault.
It's their fault. He
Right.
was 17 years old. They should have done the right thing. They should have called the cops and said this was a horrible, horrible accident. And this kid was drinking underage and he got hot under the collar and he hit somebody. And that is a horrible mistake. And he did not mean to kill that guy. But instead, in my opinion, if they did the opposite of that, they decided we're above the law because we're all cops here. So we're going to cover this up. Colin, get your ass in line, learn the story. Then it's Brian Albert's fault, and it's Jen McCabe's fault, and it's Matt McCabe's fault, and it's Nicole Albert's fault, and it's his parents' fault.
Briscoe agrees. This comment is actually apt, even though it's specific. It's like this. He said this. He's like the kid who needed an IEP, but his parents refused to believe it. That's kind of apt because they're not doing him any favors. They didn't do Allie any favors.
What IEP is?
IEP is when you have a kid with learning issues in school, and they put together a plan that the school is then accountable for keeping. But it also, some parents don't like them because they believe it marks their children as special in a way that they do not want their children marked. Even though IEPs and the other kind of plans are actually very helpful for kids. Anyway, and schools also don't like doing them because they're very expensive. Yeah. So, okay. So you say this, Colin would not be facing life without prison as it's most voluntary manslaughter. They charged Karen Reed with murder.
Yes. Yes.
Even though the story was that she, in a drunken accident, could have hit John, or in a rage could have hit John. They charged her with murder.
They
so to think that, like,
her.
They absolutely upcharged her. And even Greg O'Connor says that he thinks that she was overcharged. So, and he's running for DA, and he's Morrissey's little boy.
Chicago Marie said the Mackenzie Shrilla comparison is accurate. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the kids that are involved, the kids at the time that were involved in this, they all suffer from what Mackenzie Shrilla suffers from.
Yeah. 405 is different than an IEP. My son was also in a 405. It's a level below IEP. So we have that as well. These are both federal terms. Yeah, it's Chris Albert. BA would have been held responsible because he fed him booze and also for that dog attack. 100% agree. And also they knew that Chloe was dangerous because she had bitten before. So, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to continue on with this because there's one little thing that's coming up.
I'm not sure.
Let me go back.
Your communications with your best friend, Allie, the person who gave you a ride home that night, they're just gone. Right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
You testified that you provided Exhibit 81, what we're just looking at, and you're still looking at in front of you, as a screenshot of your communications on January 29th, 2022 with Allie McCabe, correct? It was a screenshot.
You say that again? Sorry.
You provided that item as a screenshot, not as an actual text to law enforcement. Is that right?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Do you know what a screenshot is?
I mean, come on.
When you take a picture on your phone.
A
That's a
picture.
picture from your phone.
Yes.
Okay. So it is a screenshot.
A picture.
Yes, it is a screenshot.
Okay. That's my question.
This poor kid.
When you met with Michael Proctor in that interview that lasted 10 minutes, Michael Proctor did not get the actual texts underlying that screenshot, did he?
No.
He never looked for those actual texts, did he?
No.
He never asked you for those actual texts.
He's honest when he's dumb.
No.
And you never volunteered to give him those actual texts, did you?
I think I volunteered to, yeah.
On that day?
Oh, no, not on that day. No.
Not on that day. You know what a phone extraction is?
Not familiar.
Have you ever heard of a phone imaging or a phone extraction or a forensic extraction? Any of those words sound familiar?
Not really, no.
Michael Proctor never
Wow.
asked you.
Hit pause for 1 second.
Given that answer, Michael Proctor never asked you if you could do a phone extraction of your cell phone.
Mel, can you pause for 1 second?
He never asked if you
Yeah,
could
I'm
take a
trying.
forensic image.
I just want to point out one thing.
Yeah.
When he's saying something that's obviously not true, like, have you ever talked to anybody about this case? He does a very emphatic this.
Then he
When
goes,
he
nope.
says no, when he says no in the moment, and it's just like easy no, he's just like, nope. It's a very different no. So
Anything else?
That was it. I just wanted to point out that physical signal that I've been picking up on, even though I don't love body language stuff.
I know he definitely has a demeanor though when he says nope. He says it
Yep.
with extra confidence. He's like, nope,
Mhm.
nope.
Nope.
He's almost answering the question before it's fully asked, which Julie Albert does as well. And she got chastised a couple of times by Bev because she would start answering the question before Alan Jackson finished. And she was talking over him, and it was just like they didn't when people are answering the question in that way in this situation, it's, I don't know, it definitely gets my hackles up a little bit. All right, here we go.
Of your phone date.
No.
Do you know what metadata is?
Nope.
You know the dates and times. You take a photo on your phone. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time. It'll capture the date and time of the photo. You know that?
Objection.
I'll hear this answer and it may end your inquiry. Do you know that?
Pretty sure I do, yeah.
Have you ever heard of that data, the dates and times and geolocations? Have you ever heard of that referred to as metadata?
No.
Okay, so I'll just use the word date and time.
Okay.
You know that
I'll
on
just-
your phone,
I'll just
if you
use
pull
dumb
up
words
text,
for you.
You can
Yeah.
go behind the text and see the date and time that it was actually sent or received, right?
Yeah.
But on a screenshot, you're left with just what's on the screen. Can't go behind the screenshot, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You provided just the screenshot, ultimately, not the actual text, correct?
Correct.
But in September of 2023, Michael Proctor's partner, a man by the name of Yuri Buknik,
This
You know
is
that name?
interesting.
he contacted you and said he wanted to talk about your text messages, correct?
I don't remember.
Do you remember that you told Yuri Buknik when he asked about the text messages, you did not have the screenshot anymore. You sent it to your father, Chris.
I don't remember that.
You recall
In the
telling
South, we would
Yuri
call him
Buknik
touched.
if he wanted to get the screenshot, you weren't going to give it to him. He'd have to get it from your dad.
Do not remember that.
You remember?
Oh,
Yuri
see, he's
Buknik
lying right there.
agreeing with you and saying,
Allie,
"Sure,
I don't think this is
I'll
the
just
stream for you.
call
You can go
your dad
somewhere else
and
if you'd
get it
like.
from him."
Don't remember that.
You don't remember giving, you certainly don't remember ever giving Trooper Buknik a copy of that screenshot,
No, I don't remember.
because you didn't, did you?
I do not remember.
But you did give it to your dad, right?
I do not remember.
Do you remember
Well, your dad had
anything about this case?
Objection, Your Honor.
Oh,
Did- Did you hear that?
Yes.
Remember.
but you did give it to your dad, right?
I do not remember.
Do you remember anything about this case?
Objection, Your Honor.
Oh, to this day, you have never been required to present your phone to any law enforcement agent, have you?
Nope.
It was never imaged. It was never downloaded.
Nope.
You still have the same phone?
Yes.
Interesting.
If you had the actual texts on your phone, why did you provide law enforcement with just a screenshot?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
See?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
You
He
showed a photo
says.
yesterday of you in February of 2022 with your aunt. Remember that photo? Mr. Riley showed you that photo?
Correct.
And he said he wanted you to pay special attention to your face, hands, and extremities. Asked you if there's anything unusual about that.
Yes.
Here's the fight
You said
part.
no. In that photo, absolutely nothing unusual in February 2022 about you, your face, your hands, this, nothing. Right?
Correct.
I want to draw your attention to February 26th, same month. Less than a
Hey,
month after the incident.
Rebecca,
You
Yeah.
were at a place called Fenway John.
the part that you highlighted in blue is coming up here.
Yes. This is
At
very
one.
important. And it comes
So-
after a sidebar. So I really want you guys to watch this carefully.
Yeah, so this is the part where we're getting into Colin saying this is the Knuckles photo and Colin saying he's never been into a fight
That's right.
So
This is all really
here we
important.
this is all very important.
Buddies,
I'm gonna
attention to
rewind it
February
just a little bit.
2022 about you, your face, your hands.
So we're gonna watch
this,
this out.
nothing. Right?
Correct.
I want to draw your attention to February 26th, same month, less than a month after the incident. You were at a place called Fenway Johnny's with your buddies, weren't you?
Correct.
Then I have two documents I'd like to mark for identification with court permission. Show Mr. Lally.
Okay.
Sir, do you recognize those two
Sorry.
sets, those two documents?
Yes.
Taking a look at the one that's got multiple documents on it, I don't want you to tell me what's on it. Just tell me if you recognize the picture that's in the middle to the right.
Yes.
Okay. And then looking at the second document, which I believe is marked EE for identification at this point, does that appear to be a true and accurate enlargement of the first thumbnail?
Yes.
And those were taken.
Putting
on
you in
February-
timeout, Lucy.
That photo was taken on February 26, 2022,
Yes.
at the place called, I think it's called Fenway Johnny's, right?
Correct.
May I publish the
Put it into evidence first.
move for the admission of just EE?
So you need to get it to the court reporter.
May I, I'm sorry, just FF?
Thanks,
Yeah,
Rage
Coach.
Knitter.
Yes.
Thanks for empathizing with me.
You see that photograph that's being displayed?
Yes.
Are you in that photograph?
Yes.
Which person are you?
In the middle.
Good job.
And about what time of day was it? That's you in the middle?
Correct.
About what time of day was this taken?
Not sure.
Was it at a?
It's like he got
an
his name
event?
right on the
Some sort of
SAT.
just you were at a bar?
Just at a bar.
Okay. I want you to take a look at your right hand. Can you see from there clearly your right hand?
He
Yes.
reminds me of Paul
What do
Murdoch
you
as
notice about
well.
your right hand?
Rosie.
It's cut up.
Your knuckles are injured, correct?
Correct.
Now, you didn't take this photo, did you?
Nope.
That photo was never on your phone. In other words,
poor
it wasn't
kid
a
who's in the
friend of yours
picture.
that took the photo.
No.
correct? This was taken by an event staff member, is that right?
Correct.
It was later posted on social media, isn't that right?
Correct.
You could not access the metadata. You couldn't access the time and date of that photo, correct?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
You couldn't manipulate the time or date this photo was taken?
No.
This photo was completely sort of out of your control, isn't that right?
Correct.
And it was controlled.
Just to be clear, this photo was like a month after John's death, like 3 weeks after John's death, which means he is 17 years old at a bar in Boston.
I have a funny thing that I wanted to. I can't. Do you ever do a thing where you're trying to close a file and you can't? You're just getting like a bring and you can't see it. There's probably a hidden window open somewhere, making me crazy. I
Because
wanted
I
to
don't
show you.
have a PC.
Yeah, I know you don't. Lucky you. Lucky.
Sold by the event staff at Fenway Johnny's.
Correct.
And on February
Wait,
26th,
Fenway Johnny's.
less than a month after the incident at
He's
Fairview,
17
that's what your
at
right
Fenway
knuckles look like,
Johnny's.
correct?
Correct.
And this is a true and accurate depiction of your condition on or about February 26th, correct?
Correct.
How'd you get those injuries, Mr. Albert? We can pull lights up.
I was at a party, my house party, my senior year, and I remember it being icy out, and it was kind of like a steep hill of a driveway, and I was walking up the driveway, and I slipped down the driveway, and I tried to catch myself, but I had something in my left hand, so I had tried to brace myself with my right hand, and I ended up sliding a little bit down the driveway.
What'd you have in your left hand?
If I remember, it was either my phone or a beverage.
So according to you, you fell on ice and injured your knuckles, as we just saw in that photograph, right across the top of your knuckles.
Correct.
So you
Correct.
fell onto what, pavement, asphalt?
Yes.
And you braced yourself when you fell, your entire body weight, by putting your right hand down in a fist, and you injured your right fist, just the top of the knuckles on your right fist when you fell down.
Correct.
Seriously?
It's the most absurd piece of testimony I've
Objection,
ever
Your Honor.
seen.
He said,
Sustained.
Alan Jackson said, seriously?
You didn't put your palms down when you fell?
No.
You fell your entire body weight on your right fist and just injured the top portion of your knuckles, correct?
Correct.
Those injuries to your knuckles look an awful lot like the type of injuries that you would get in a
Objection,
fight.
Your Honor.
Sustained.
You ever been in a fight, sir?
Oh, here we go.
Other than with my brothers, no.
This part's
You've never been
crazy.
in a fight.
Nope.
This is crazy. He's
Your
lying.
entire
Flat
life.
out.
Other than with my brothers, no.
Flat
Never
out
hurt your
lying.
knuckles before.
Not sure what you
This
mean.
is when the
Never hurt your
important part
knuckles in a
happens.
fight.
No.
And in this case, when you fell down on the asphalt, it was only the top four knuckles of your right hand, correct?
Correct.
You right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Show us. Catch this
Box?
pencil.
Nope.
I'm sorry, you don't box?
Nope.
It's like my
Never box?
fantasy
Never.
my fantasy question.
You ever practice boxing?
I've hit the bag for like cardio, but other than that, no.
When you hit the bag, is that considered boxing?
Here it comes soon.
I wouldn't say so. Not
It's
No.
not
not
jumping
really.
rope, is it, Mr. Albert?
No.
It's not doing curls,
No.
Nope.
not doing push-ups or calisthenics.
It's
Correct.
boxing.
Nope.
It's hitting a bag, correct?
Yeah.
That's boxing, right?
I'd say yeah.
Wow.
He's really.
Ugh,
When you
that was the
when
that
that
was
photograph
the
was taken at
that was I don't know if that was a sidebar or not. And keep in mind,
That wasn't. She
I-
actually talks to him when they come back from the side. Oh, that wasn't a little break, but she actually talks to him when they come back from sidebar.
yeah. Keep in mind, some of this is I don't know if this part here is voir dire, but some of this is voir dire.
Yes, and then he has to repeat all of it again. What timestamp are you on right now?
I'm on 112, 111.
Yes, you're very close to when
Yeah.
Bev asked the question.
There were a couple things up here. First of all, somebody said that we are one of the most underrated shows on YouTube. and
I
appreciate
agree. Tell
for
people.
saying that. I also wanted to address, I'm not saying that kids don't go to bars and drink. What I'm saying is he's used to getting away with this kind of shit. He's used to like being in a picture on a bar's website and nobody questioning whether he should be there or not. He's used to going out to Mikey's and getting drunk and showing up at his Uncle Brian's house, who was a Boston police officer. He knows there are going to be other cops there, and he knows he's not going to get in trouble for it.
Right.
He knows that he can go to John O'Keefe's front yard, cause a scene with his drunk buddies.
He's an
leave a bunch
entitled
of beer
white boy.
cans there. He's an entitled white boy. That's my point. Not that, I mean, of course, we all, we were all drinking when we were underage. We were all getting into bars
Not
with
me.
our
Believe
with-
it or not, I never did.
Oh,
I'm being dead serious.
Becca, you're so cute.
I didn't drink in high school or college the first time I went.
Wow.
You know why? Because I wasn't popular. Nobody ever invited me to parties. That is the damn truth.
Oh,
I love this comment. No, it's true. Anarchy Bite says, when you are in the main seat of a car, what was that comment? Hold on.
oh, sorry.
I loved that comment. It was like, when you're in the main seat of a car and it's moving, wouldn't you call that driving? Colin, no.
And we call that maneuvering.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I also don't
please
call it
go
a car, I
like.
call it a vehicle.
Yeah, please go like the video. We're getting really close to 10,000 subs. I think we're 300 away.
Mhm.
So thank you for doing that, and please share the video and tell everybody and all that. Okay, back to it. The really important part's coming up. Make sure you pay attention to what Judge Beverly Canoni says.
Fenway Johnny's. Those knuckles look like they had been
Yes, I am a nerd.
from a prior injury. No?
No.
Just falling on the asphalt.
Correct.
Any other cuts or scrapes from that terrible fall on the asphalt?
Objection. Your Honor.
Terrible,
I'll rephrase it.
terrible.
Any other cuts or scrapes or injuries from that fall?
I don't remember.
Just your right knuckles.
Yeah.
Said you've
Thanks,
never-
Kathleen. Thanks for following us over here.
Nope.
Did you post a video?
Thanks,
You
Derek.
threatened That you're going to.
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained. I'll see you at sidebar on this. I'm
Here we
familiar
go.
with this.
It's right after this, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with this, she says. We get to see the videos twice because
So,
we
Mr.
go.
Albert, you stay right where you are. We're going to see a couple of short videos.
This is voir dire.
And then Mr. Jackson will ask you
Wait.
questions, and then Mr. Lally will ask you questions. Then I'll hear from the lawyers, and then I'll take a break, and you'll get a break before we go back.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Did you have a lawyer present?
No,
Oof.
I do not.
Okay.
Oof,
Stop.
Oof, 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 oof.
that
oof.
is an
bang.
incredible moment that I forgot about from trial
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
Bev is asking him this question for one of two reasons or both of these reasons. One, she believes he may implicate himself.
She
Either
believes he's also been lying this entire time.
or either implicate himself, yes, and implicate himself, and that he might be perjuring himself. And so she's concerned about his rights here, which is why she asks if he has a lawyer. And, you know, I am one of the things I've wondered, and maybe a lawyer can speak up. I don't know the rule in Massachusetts, but in some places, the judge can actually advise somebody of their rights in that moment. Advise them of their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. She did not do that. And I don't know if that is a Massachusetts rule or not, that they can do that. But I have seen judges do that where they advise somebody of their rights. But he's not a minor. So he's an adult. He's there without a lawyer. So he abso-fucking-lutely should have had his lawyer present when he gave this testimony. Absolutely. The issue is, at this point, I don't know if he had the same lawyer as everyone else. But if everyone else is also... I don't know, but if everyone else is also sequestered, that also could present an issue. But he absolutely should have brought his lawyer, 100%. And I actually feel for him that he didn't have a lawyer there, because he does not have the maturity of a 20-year-old or 19-year-old at this point. But yeah, so the videos are coming right up. Yes, so this all happens. This happens here in voir dire, and then it happens again in front of the jury. The jury does see the videos,
right? And I also want you all to pay close attention to the information. I had forgotten about this part, but the information that Alan Jackson gets out of him about the grand jury testimony, which I think is just fascinating. And the idea that, and I don't know if everybody caught it. I didn't catch it the first time when I was watching this live, but going back and watching it, when Alan Jackson's talking about the photo from the bar, the one that I put in our thumbnail, the knuckles, the cuts and bruises on his knuckles, Alan Jackson is saying those are re-injured. So I just want to dispel this this argument there that the antis have created this infographic that they're putting out every time you talk about this photo of Colin and his knuckles. And the infographic is, this was 3-4 weeks after John O'Keefe died. So, you know, he wouldn't have these things on his knuckles. Also, here are 2 other pictures of Colin.
That's what I was looking for. Where are those? I was looking for those. Where are those?
It's go into our notifications. They're there.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I
was like, wouldn't it be funny if those were inverted? That's all.
Well, not only, here's the thing. Not only would it be funny if they were inverted, but in the picture where Colin has his arm around Nicole Albert, you can't, in the picture that we're looking at in the bar, his hand is like this, right? So you can see his knuckles right here. In the picture with Nicole, his hand is like this. You can't actually see his knuckles, but that's not actually the point. The point is Alan Jackson made this argument very well in the trial, but it might have been a little too subtle. And that is that you re-injured your hand.
Potentially.
Alan Jackson is positing that the cuts and bruises on his knuckles are from re-injuring, like getting into another fight, because that's what we're about to get into right here.
Right.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So the first one, are they both on the same? They're separate.
Separated.
All right. So let's mark them each for identification.
Let's do it.
The one I'm holding in my right hand,
Bring it up.
I'll call Advantage.
Okay.
Vantage boys.
Thank you. All right. So play GG first, please.
The second one's called Bang Bang.
Yes, sir.
Your Vantage boys, I will beat all your asses. I promise you, I will fuck you all up. Pull up, bitch.
Okay. And the next.
Lally was.
I also want everybody to pay attention to the discrepancies between his grand jury testimony and the testimony that he gives today about the time frame of these videos. It's really important.
Next one, please.
You're a bitch, bro. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. Boy, you be knocked out. KO. Bang, bang.
Bang bang.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm gonna
idiot.
take those 2 videos one at a time. I'm going to call one the Advantage Boys and one the Bang Bang. For purposes of my questioning, Mr. Albert, specifically regarding the Advantage Boys video, did you recognize it?
Yes.
How did you recognize it?
What do you mean by
How
that?
do you recognize it? Is that you?
Yes.
Jesus
Okay. Who was that
Christ.
taken?
It's like pulling stupid teeth.
Yeah.
maybe my sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
Where were you?
That's
I
incorrect.
don't remember.
Okay. So your sophomore year in high school, that's about 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, around.
You
He just
indicated
perjured
on
himself.
cross-examination, you've never been in a fight.
No.
Indicating that you have no violent tendencies and no violent proclivities, correct?
Nope.
What were you saying on that video?
Nope. There it is again.
That I would beat them up.
Did you say you would beat them up, or did you say I would fuck you up?
It's wild.
I said I will F you up.
No, you didn't.
No, you
say, I
didn't.
will F you up. What did you actually say?
That I would fuck them up.
You also said something about beating somebody's ass, right?
Correct.
What did that mean?
That I would beat them up.
So when you said I will fuck you up and I will beat your ass, was that a friendly invitation?
Thank you, Stinky
No.
Cat.
That was a
Join us
threat,
on Monday.
correct?
I don't know if I would call it a threat.
Don't?
I'm not sure.
Someone walks up to you. I'm not going to do it. But if someone did, walked up to you and said, I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. You wouldn't take that as a threat?
If they walked up to me, yeah.
But if they didn't walk up and just shouted it across the street and stood there and said, I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
I don't disagree
That's
with you,
not-
Amber. Also, he's been drinking since he's been a
I'm
kid.
not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are sure, sir.
All right, so
No.
that I'll strike at the Commonwealth standing up and objecting.
Were you threatening these advantage boys, guys, whoever they are?
Yeah, kinda.
Were you
Kinda.
threatening them with violence?
Yeah, kinda.
Mm.
I don't have the videos up right now. I'm sure most of you have seen them. But when he said he's never been in a fight, just go look up videos of Colin Albert fighting. There are 2 prominent videos. One of him and some kid like outside at night, and the other one he's beating the shit out of somebody in a locker room at the high school, I think.
Mm.
So the fact that it's so easy for him to say, nope, never been in a fight. Nope. But the other crazy thing is that he was advised to say that, probably by a lawyer. And that means the lawyer is advising him to lie on the stand, which really is crazy if you think about it.
Mm.
Like it's so easily, you can prove it so easily because the internet is forever. So kids these days put all their shit on the internet. It was so easy to go out and find, videos of Colin fighting.
I know. I think the whole idea, would you consider this a threat? No. He literally says, I'm going to fuck you up.
Right.
What is a threat?
Right.
I'm sorry, Alan Jackson was peak in this
Yeah.
cross-examination. I also think
Yeah.
Yannetti was peak with Allie. Like they were both very, very sharp in trial 1 and in ways that it makes it even more surprising about the hung jury. But I think that the jury foreman being who he was did not help the matter. So,
yeah. All right. I just want to get to the part about the grand jury, and then I have 2 other timestamps
okay.
that I wanted to talk about. And then we can talk about Allie's testimony because that's important. Let's move up here a little bit.
So you're threatening him yet again, a second time.
Yeah.
What does pull up mean?
Like come by.
Yeah, meaning get over here.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Because when you do, I'm going to fuck you up.
No shame.
Right?
No shame.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm going to fight you and I'm going to put you down. Correct?
Correct.
That was your threat to them.
Correct.
Can we get a time on this second one?
Of course. When was the second one, the bang bang threat made? Before or after the advantage boys?
I'm not sure.
After?
Might have been this same night. I really don't know.
Well, you're dressed completely differently, so it's probably not the same night. You would agree.
Unless I could have changed my shirt. I do that often.
Okay.
You do?
Okay.
You changed your shirt on the same night. You just decided to threaten the guys twice. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Was it around the same time frame?
Around you?
The fact of the matter is, Mr. Albert, you do like to fight, don't you?
Okay, here we go.
Nope.
The fact of the matter is,
Nope.
you showed up at another hearing, at another proceeding to testify. And you showed up with busted knuckles then too, didn't you?
That right there, Rage
Do not
Knitter.
remember.
Okay. Sorry, you guys probably missed that because I was
Do not
talking over it.
remember.
This is the
Showed
part
up
that it
with
was.
busted knuckles.
So they're not allowed to say, if you guys remember, they're not allowed to say a federal investigation or a federal grand jury. So Alan Jackson is like, you showed up to another court basically where you had to answer questions. And this is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
To testify. And you showed up with busted knuckles then too, didn't you?
To the grand jury, the federal grand
Do not
jury.
remember.
Can you imagine?
No.
July 27th, 2023. Do you remember being at another hearing?
Yes.
You remember being questioned by some attorneys?
Yes.
Do you remember the question about the condition of your fist? Literally
At the grand jury.
at the hearing?
Yeah.
It was obvious to the person that was questioning you that you had an injury to your fist, correct?
Objection.
That's a statement.
I'll rephrase that. My apologies, Your Honor. You were asked questions by the questioner about the condition, the physical condition of your fist, weren't you?
By Adam Deitch.
Yeah.
And you claimed at that time, well, let me back up for a second and ask a different question. They were asking because you had injuries on your right knuckles yet again, didn't you?
Correct.
You said, it must have been hitting a heavy bag, right?
Yeah.
Boxing again.
Hit in the
Why
bag,
won't
yeah.
he say
Just working
boxing?
out, right?
Yep.
Didn't have any
Because
injuries on the
boxing
left
means
hand,
fighting.
No,
How many times
And his
have you hit
dad
a
told
heavy
him to
bag?
not say that.
I'm not sure.
How many times have you worked out with a heavy bag? That's an unfair question. I'll ask a better one. How many times have you worked out on a heavy bag?
I'm not sure.
When you work out on a heavy bag, you wrap your hands, don't you?
I do not know.
I see. So only your right hand gets injured over and over and over and over again. Not your left.
Just for the record, if you don't wrap your hands when you're hitting a heavy bag, it's a really good way to break your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe that he doesn't. First of all, I don't believe he hits a heavy bag to work out. Second, I don't believe he hits a heavy bag. I don't think he hits a heavy bag and doesn't wrap his hands. And if he does, he's a moron. And third, I think that this is a story they came up with, the heavy bag story, to make excuses for why his knuckles are all busted up all the time.
Mm.
It would be interesting if there was anything on the record, like in a medical records or whatever. I mean, unfortunately, mental health records are not, everything's under seal, but like, it would be interesting if we could get school records that showed Colin was constantly getting into fights. Like, why didn't the investigators do any of this shit? They had a violent or an apparent violent kid at this party who had prior issues with John, who was drinking, who was drunk, who needed a ride home. And they did no investigation into this kid. And in fact, they kept his name out of the police reports until it was too late. And they didn't even interrogate him or question him for over a year and a half. Is that how long it was?
Yep.
Before they even talked to Colin?
Yep.
I mean, if anything, like that evidence right there shows me that this is a cover up.
Somebody asked about the Chloe's bite history. The 2018, so 3 years before John O'Keefe's death, or 2.5 years, a woman was walking her golden doodle or golden retriever past their house. Chloe attacked the dog. She reported it to animal control, and Detective Kevin Albert of the Canton Police called her to ask how could they, quote, make it go away. And then after John O'Keefe's death, I believe Chloe bit 2 more people and sent them to the emergency room. And then they rehomed Chloe later that spring.
Yep. Okay, let me jump ahead. So they go back in front of the jury, they replay the videos, and then Lally gets up to redirect, and then Alan Jackson gets up one more time to do a recross. And I have 2 time marks that I want to hit here.
Hey, Anarchy Bite from Croatia. Thank you so much for the €5. Lawyer, what confused you in this question? Colin, the word the. That's pretty good.
I love it. The word the. All right, let me skip ahead here. So
Sorry,
we're going to be
our
looking.
Patrador. If this particular stream isn't for you, that's okay. I plan on doing some work and going over Turtleboy's case closer to his next motion to dismiss hearing, but we're not doing that today.
Okay.
And also, we're not doing it because it's not appropriate, because that's not a legal filing. That's in the top of the news today, and this is.
Right.
You indicated, Mr. Albert, that this was your sophomore year in high school.
Recross.
But you were asked that exact same question under oath, the time frame of these videos
So important.
in that other hearing, weren't you?
I believe so, yes.
You indicated under oath in that hearing that it looked like it was your junior or senior year in high school, correct?
Maybe I'm not sure
Not sure.
exactly what I said.
Your senior year would have been what year, sir?
2022, 21, 22.
Same year John O'Keefe died.
Correct.
That's all I have at this time, Governor. Thank you.
All right, I will.
So good.
So fascinating.
He was great
that
in this.
he waited because he knew what Lally was going to ask before he got back up. He could have made that point in the first cross. And when he was asking him about the grand jury, when he was asking him about the videos, he waited for Lally to get up. He let Lally hang himself, and then he came back in on the recross and asked that question. I just wanted to one more moment, and then we can get into Allie. 129.
Which is, of course,
Don't worry, Allie won't take nearly as
Well,
long.
I think even assuming that, as far as relevance is concerned, Your Honor, there is no.
Okay, so we're talking about. Let me just back up just a little bit here.
Hey, there's 1,400 of you here. Thank you very much. Make sure to like the video.
There's 1,600.
Oh,
1,650.
nice.
This evidence
We only have
that we now
545
have
likes, though.
points directly in that.
Come on, slackers.
It's focused in that direction. So yes, both it should have been investigated and Colin Albert is somebody.
Let me back this up so we know what the argument's about. It's really interesting. I won't play Lally's argument, but
This young man has indicated he does constantly. I'm surprised he didn't show up in this hearing with busted knuckles.
So does this go to your third-party culprit defense?
It goes to both. It certainly goes to both, but yes, it also goes to our third-party culprit defense as well. This is a focus of, I believe, this should be a focus of the jurors' attention in terms of, is there a third party who could have done this?
I agree, Lisa.
That evidence points to that may have done this. Absolutely, this evidence, what we now have, points directly in that. It's focused in that direction. So yes, both.
Okay, so the argument here is these videos need to come before the jury because it's direct evidence that there was a violent person who was drunk in the house that night with John. And we have evidence that he likes to fight. He showed up at the grand jury with bloody knuckles again. We have a photo of him. It's crazy. We have a photo of him showing knuckles that look like they've been broken open again, less than a month after John O'Keefe died, yada, yada. So then Lally gets up and is like, oh, I don't think this is relevant at all, which is a ridiculous argument. But this is getting into, this is what Alan Jackson has to say, and this is how I'm going to close out this part.
To introduce
Briefly.
Yes.
In terms of evidence of a fight, I don't know what Mr. Lau is talking about. He says there's no evidence of a fight in this case. John O'Keefe looks like he had been beaten to death.
Yes.
He's got two black eyes.
Trial
laceration
one.
Over his right eye, laceration over his nose, a giant wound on the back of his head, and he doesn't look like he was hit by a car. He looks like he was in a physical altercation. It's as plain as the nose on your face, and we have evidence that we have witnesses who are going to propound that evidence, present that evidence. So Mr. Lally and the Commonwealth can take whatever position they want to. If they think those injuries are consistent with being hit by a 6,000-pound truck, they can knock themselves out. That is not the state of the case, and they don't get to dictate the state of the facts. The facts speak for themselves. Second, with regard to whether or not Mr. Albert was home that night, or at the home that night in a position to be able to engage in a physical altercation, which, by the way, takes about that long.
I just drop a poll
that is
if anyone wants to take
predicated
it.
on his own family members covering for him.
Say that again.
I threw up a poll if people want to take it.
Oh, cool. And Sunny Days, we went over the Colin and Lindsay Gaetani interaction on the June 10th stream, I believe it was. So
And we really want
check that
Lindsay
out
to come
there.
on the show.
Yeah, I have to reach out to her. Okay, let me get back to this.
The answer to this
Every one of the
question is
witnesses who
yes.
testified-
It could be one, the other, or both.
Wait, what was that?
They say JOK had 2 black eyes, but didn't medical examiner say that could be from the Contra coup post-mortem blood pooling? Yes, it could also be both. He
Yeah.
also had a laceration on his nose.
Yes. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
In a physical altercation, which, by the way, takes about that long, that is predicated on his own family members covering for him. Every one of the witnesses who testified basically are friends and families of the Alberts. And keep in mind, Your Honor, I don't think it's
Watch
lost
Paul
on anybody
O'Keefe.
that Colin Albert was hidden specifically and intentionally hidden
This is trial
from
one.
all of law enforcement for the first several months of this investigation. Nobody was willing to even say he was at the house. That is highly, highly suspicious. Given the gravity of what we have now, I would take an issue with one thing Mr. Lally said. He said this diverts the jurors' attention. I would agree it diverts their attention. It diverts their attention to somebody who possibly could be involved with this, who was not properly investigated. And I'll submit.
That's really all I
Okay.
wanted to play. I just thought it was a really good argument. It also sort of lays out the entire case. Like in that moment in trial one, if everyone in that courtroom is not sitting there and going, why are we here? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like they need to rethink their life.
The fact that this was even brought to trial is kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't
Yeah.
like my poll. I'm not telling them what to do. I'm asking if they did. That's right. That's right.
I don't even know what the poll is. Where's the poll?
The poll is, have you hit the like button yet? Yes, no, or don't tell me what to do.
Okay.
Can we get a Higgy Bear if this hits 1,000 likes? 100%. I'm volunteering
Hundo.
Mel for a Higgy
Yeah.
Bear.
Yep. And yes, Tall Red Texas, Beverly Canoni did allow the videos to come in. Mel or Rebecca, where did that go? Where did it go? What's the best way to email?
Something's off
Pod.
pod@gmail.com. Something's off
Something's
pod
off
at gmail.com,
pod.
Derek.
At gmail.com.
And thanks for becoming a member, Derek. We love you.
You can also message us on Facebook, though my account is private, so you have to
You can send me a Twitter DM anytime. I'm one of those
Or
rare
you
people who checks their DM requests.
I do too.
Is that Denise Galvin behind Aaron? Probably.
Denise Galvin behind Aaron? Oh, I don't know. Okay. That's all I had for Colin's testimony. Allie's testimony is fascinating.
It is.
And she's so nervous. She makes me nervous. Like I don't normally I love to watch people squirm. Unlike you, she makes me nervous because I can tell she's terrified and she's lying, in my opinion.
She also has like a cold. So she seems like gaspy.
I don't know if
too.
she does. I think that's
Well,
her
she-
regular voice.
Oh, well, she does cough a lot. So
She's got a husky voice.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to do the time codes for you and then you talk it out?
Sure. I have only 2 that are super important. The other ones are we've gone over with the Colin stuff, but I also just any kind of Yannetti stuff is like, I'm all about it. So,
I know you are.
I mean, 25 minutes is a moment that I really like when Yannetti kind of goes over with her whether or not she knows how to use a phone.
Well, it's also super important, like
It is.
because she's a
It
kid.
is.
Who
But his
should
establishing
know.
questions, his foundational questions tickle me, as
Yeah.
does many things that Yannetti does.
I'm so frustrated because here, before we get into this, the idea that it does seem like Allie McCabe lied. If her Life 360 says she never went to 34 Fairview and she
Yes.
never went to Colin Albert's house, then she lied.
It also
And
seemed
I
like
don't-
she lied during her examination when he said, "What is this 12-mile trip?" And she's like, "I don't know. I was home." It's a lie. By the way, somebody says they gave out 5 memberships, and if you received a membership, let me know. She says that she did them on this stream but can't see them. This is Amanda. So thank you very much, Amanda, by the way, for gifting the memberships. But if you got those memberships, let us know. So let you know, because they went by really quickly. But then also, thank you. And make sure to renew your membership if you like our members only content, which I think you will if you like
Also,
watching me squirm while getting drunk.
Did you notice that we got gifted a membership to Glare?
Yes.
The channel did.
Yes.
It's really cute. What I was saying is, it's obvious based on what we're hearing about this Life 360, which obviously I want to see the data to know for sure. But based on that, it seems like Allie McCabe got on the stand and flat out lied about what she did that night, where she was. And the problem with that is I don't think she made that decision on her own.
No, of course not. And also, it's not data, it's dater. You should know better.
You're absolutely right.
The dater. It's all in the dater.
Dater in the garage.
The dater, the dater, the dater.
What? I don't know what this. Okay, I'll let you address this one.
Oh, yeah, Ms. Holmes. Of course, I wasn't going to hup to if Aiden in an angry rant said that if I didn't, I'd be dead to him. A, I knew that wasn't true in the moment, and B, his hearing is in about a month. I think it's a month from Saturday, and we will be going over the complaint and his motion to dismiss before the hearing because that's when it is newsworthy. Not that we do things newsworthy all the time, but it just seemed like better timing to me. Also, I'm still trying to track down. Nope. There's no, believe it or not, there's no like central place to find all of the filings in his criminal cases. So I actually am literally hunting them down right now. So I think his second motion to dismiss will have a bunch of the prior docs in it, but I'm also hunting other stuff down that I want to go through. And the other thing I want to mention is that he said that there would be a big filing from his team in the defamation case sometime very soon that we will, quote, definitely want to read.
And we will probably have him back on to talk about that around that time, I would assume. Darlene said, I heard about the 360 at the first trial, didn't I? You did. And you're about to hear about it right now. Here's what I don't fully understand. I don't know if the defense didn't have everything they needed from discovery from the Life 360, but it sounds like now Karen's team has Jen McCabe's Life 360 data from her phone. The ease of which Allie on the stand, when Alan Jackson's like, or when David Yannetti's like, well, you took this like 12-mile drive, where'd you go? And she's like, I don't think that's correct. This kid has been taught that all she has to say is that she doesn't think the data is correct, which is exactly what her mom is saying about the 227 search. Well, I didn't do that. So here's a missed call between you and your sister. I didn't do that. It's not correct. They have been told by somebody that all they have to do is say that the data, the science is incorrect and people should believe them.
And these are the same people whose team,
terrifying,
the anti-Karen Reed team, is always pointing at the dater says she did it. But when it comes to their own dater or their own side's dater, the Google search is no good. The Life 360 dater is no good. The 3 flights of stairs were caused by driving down the fucking street, which is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The dater that makes her look like she didn't do it, no good. They believe in the key cycle, which is not the right key cycle. That dater is important. What does that say?
What?
It was just a comment on that I missed.
Oh, then I gotta find it. Come here, Ribs.
That's a good idea.
What?
Nothing. I made myself some notes for merch ideas and I forgot about where I put them and I just saw them. So I'm like, oh, looking over my own idea. That's a good idea. I'm going to work on that.
That's a good idea. New member, Teresa. You're the best. We hope to see you on Monday.
Come to our members only stream Monday night where I get drunk and Mel makes me watch something that makes me really uncomfortable.
Oh,
I've never
you
missed
look
a Phantom
great today.
Thank you. Well, I didn't. It's the not washing the hair. Does it every time. And my allegedly T-shirt from Sarah D. Bunting's bookstore, Exhibit B Books. You can get one for yourself. This is a size small in case anyone's curious about the sizing.
We are butting up against 2 hours. So let's get into Allie because I do have to go get my hair did.
And I got to eat because you forgot about your hair appointment yesterday.
I totally forgot. I totally no-showed. And
I forgot
felt
about
like
our
an
meeting this
asshole.
morning. So
I know you
I didn't
did.
forget. I just had the
Damn it.
time wrong.
All right. So the first, do you want me to just do the highlighted ones or do you want to go through
Yes,
all
I
of
am a
them?
cheap drunk. Oh, do the that's where the photos came from. 3640 were where the photos came from.
Right.
Without the cuts in this video. I don't know. I do what you like. I think that like around the 32-minute mark, she sees the screenshots, she reacts to them. But yeah, you can just pick and choose. I'll let you drive this car.
Carrie, thanks so much for being here with us for
The thing
2
that's
months.
really important to
that
me
you're
is
here
the
too.
the thing that's really important to me is the one where the 56-minute mark when she talks about the route that she took. And you don't have to play the whole thing, but like you just gotta get a sense of her. You can tell she wasn't prepared to answer these questions in a way she is prepared to answer other questions. And it's kind of wild.
Got it. Okay. Struggle is teal. I use London men's grooming products for my hair.
Cool side of the pillow. You got a gift membership.
There
and
it
that
is.
is one of my favorite expressions. My husband uses it all the time. You're cooler than the cool side of the pillow. Cool side of the pillow.
Yeah.
Where you blow. Thanks for becoming a member. We'll see you on Monday night when I get drunk. And Zeke's mama. There we go. Yay.
5 gifted 5 somethings off memberships. That's amazing. Thank y'all. You're the best.
Make sure to renew.
Okay, here we go. Allie. I am going to hop to 3640, which is what you have in the time.
New members. Drunk Rebecca is the best. Thank you.
Facts.
My liver thanks you.
I mean, I like Rebecca all the time, but Drunk Rebecca is pretty funny. I'm less inhibited. I become more uninhibited. I say things I would never say on a public stream, which I know could also be clipped and shared. I mean, I'm not stupid, but let's just say I sometimes get a little overly confident when I've been drinking. The best show on YouTube. Thanks, Aunt B.
Oh,
or do you say Aunt B? I say Aunt.
It depends on
aunt or aunt.
I usually say aunt, but that's just how I grew up. That's what people say where I grew up. So,
okay, here we go.
What are we doing?
I bumped up to, you said 3640 is Here Comes the February 11th photos from the Jack Welcome Home Party.
Okay.
Let's see if I can skip ahead to them.
Okay.
They put the photos on the screen. Yeah, there they are. So this is the one that I was just talking about. So when Colin's hand in the bar photo, his hand is like this, so you can see his knuckles. In this photo with Nicole, his hand is like this. You can't see the top of his knuckles. Okay, here we go.
You know, it's not on the screen, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Alabama. It is Big Apple Red by Opie.
Now up on the screen is what very left.
Correct.
Correct.
And, may I approach again?
Yes.
Almost seek to introduce in a minute the next 2 exhibits. Again, subject to our discussion.
Sure. Okay. Yes, those are clear.
If you recognize what's now up on the screen is what you have before you as exhibit.
Okay, you can't see the top of his knuckles.
And if you could just describe to the jury sort of
it's true.
what we're looking at in this photograph, who's picking?
Colin
actually,
and
look
my
at the top of his
Coco.
knuckle right there.
And,
There could be a little cut there.
Where? Here?
Yeah, look up at the top. See right there, the little nick?
Yeah,
Right there.
I mean, I think that's a shadow. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
The point is in the photo from the bar, Alan Jackson made the point on the record in front of the jury, or maybe it wasn't in front of the jury. It was probably just voir dire, but he makes the point on the record that it looks like these are cuts and bruises that have healed over and you've broken them open again. So
someone was mean talking about me on a morning show. That's a bummer.
Who would do that?
I don't know. I can take it.
What kind of punk ass bitch would do that?
Yes, Nicole.
And if I could direct your attention to
Nicole looks good in that photo.
She looks better.
Oh wait. Let's see if we can see anything in the files.
Also, Nicole Albert.
Yeah.
I love
Yes,
it when
Nicole.
they do this shit.
And
Lally's
Coco
so
looks
dumb
hot.
about tech.
To the
Yeah,
next
she looks
exhibit
great.
for you, exhibit
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what we got
What
there.
are
We got
3D
cars
objects?
test video interior. Temple Beth Abraham surveillance. We want to see that shit.
Yeah, we do. I should let me take a screen grab of this in case people are still doing FOIAs.
Do it.
Hold up.
A new thing just
This-
came out. Sean Good's resignation letter just came out.
Oh, really? What did he say in it?
Let's
When
see.
they said, "Why are you quitting?" Did he say, "Because I want to"?
Let's see.
Who said that?
That was Dever.
Who's- Deborah.
It says nothing but.
Oh, it's short.
I'm gonna open up my screen. I didn't want to share screen and bump your share
Please
screen off.
I can read it. Please accept the letter as in
Hold on. I'm making it big in Photoshop so I can read it.
notice of my resignation.
This is so
for-
menopausal. Like, this is the most menopausal moment we've had so far today. What does it
I'm wearing my
say?
readers. I'm wearing my
know.
readers.
Okay. It says,
It
please
just says,
accept
please accept
my-
as of today.
this letter, my irrevocable notice of my resignation for the purpose of retirement effective Tuesday, June 2nd. Retirement my fucking ass. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Uh-huh.
That's the
Uh-huh.
kind of thing I say when I'm drunk. More often.
All right, so back to this. Who's that they scratched out? There's no.
That's so amateur.
Again, what's up on the screen is that what you have before you?
They did that in Paint, Mel. I swear
Yes.
to fucking God.
I know.
And that looks
Or like
when you
on
don't-
their phone.
Correct.
Yeah. And when you don't like somebody in the yearbook.
Yeah.
I believe it. They call it their library. Maybe it's the room in the back.
The library.
And
Bullshit.
As far as what's contained in this photograph in reference to your friend Colin Albert, as far as his February election, I have no.
Okay, those are the photos.
Can
that
you go
wanted
back to
to
the
show.
other
Now-
question real quick? Can you go back to the other photo real quick? It says 2, right? So there he is. That's the photo. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that were inverted?
This
Okay.
one?
That's all I wanted to see. I just wanted to see if those bracelets were on his left hand and that one, which would mean the second one was inverted. I'm just doing my due diligence, Mel.
The right hand. The left hand. That's the right hand.
I'm not
Okay.
going to be conspiracy theory about these photos being photoshopped. I don't care. I
Yeah.
just know that they scribbled out that guy's face like you do when you hate somebody in high school, and that's the photos in the yearbook.
Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead to. Oh, you put a note on here that said that Allie is lucky that Proctor never had her phone extraction. The dude is a perv. You're absolutely
Oh,
right.
yes. Allie
Yeah.
McCabe's nudes would 100% be in Proctor's text chat.
Absolutely.
So
Allie
it's probably
McCabe's a
good that she
hottie.
didn't give up her phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's skip ahead to 50.
Okay, you got rid of the video.
Oh, I didn't mean to. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. I can't wait to have some Fritos, by the way.
Fritos?
Hmm
Is that what you're having for lunch?
I don't know what I'm gonna have. I think we have some leftovers I can have.
Okay, 50.
I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. I'm so
I know
excited.
you are. Wait, we're still doing our stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to leave for the bus
Yeah.
at like, what did I say, like 10:30 or something. So we're going on at 8. Is
Yeah,
that what we said?
We're doing an early stream tomorrow because everything that we talked about in the beginning of this with the filing, there's actually going to be a hearing today at 3
At 3
p.m.
o'clock. Yep.
about this whole thing that we're talking about today. So we're going to watch that hearing and then we'll be back on tomorrow at 8 a.m.
And you use
She's
apps
so
like
nervous.
Instagram.
Correct.
Snapchat is a popular app,
Correct.
and probably to your detriment, but Life 360,
Correct.
all right, that's been an app in the McCabe family for a number of years, right?
Correct. Yes.
And
Correct.
it's in your family anyway, and probably in a lot of families, it's mainly used for the parents to keep track of their kids, right?
Correct.
At least he's making her
And,
laugh, you know?
In order for Life 360 to work,
He's a good guy.
you have to have your location services on, and somebody else has to have the app and is in the family, correct? Connected to you?
Correct.
And
She's such a better witness than
regard to-
Colin.
Just going back to the messages for a minute.
She was
Do
coached
you know
by
the
Jen.
difference between an iMessage
In
and
my
a text
opinion.
message?
Correct. Yes, I believe one's blue and one's green.
Oh, The
Do you think she
screenshots
smokes?
that we saw of your
No, she's
text
a soccer
conversation
player.
that you saved.
Because her
you
mom
had
has a
with
raspy voice too.
Colin Albert,
That's
you were in.
yeah. I think that they just have gravelly voices.
Raspy voices.
Kind of
So they
sexy.
have sexy
Not gonna lie.
voices, like genetically.
Like Judge Frenia.
Judge Frenia.
Right?
Correct.
That means that Colin Albert
Hey,
also
Maza.
had an iPhone at the time, correct?
Correct.
Nice to see you.
Now,
Maza.
with regard to the timestamp on those messages.
Yeah, it might be vapes actually.
The
No, I'm flying, but I'm
conversation
busting into
about,
the
I'm here, I believe you said it gave the time 12:10 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Are you aware how easy it is to change that time?
No.
Are you aware that all you need to do is go from settings to general, and then there's a date and time that you can alter?
Objection.
Are you aware of that?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
You know that when you set up
I
your
know it's a
iPhone, you
thing.
have to choose a
Oh, did you
time.
see it? Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, but I think
what?
he's asking if you could change. I actually think she's telling the truth here. I don't think she knew you could change. I think that was done in Photoshop, not on the fucking phones. That's what I think.
Okay, just watch.
Okay.
She says her answer. Watch what her eyes do.
Okay. This is so Beningo. of you.
General, and then there's a date and time that you can alter.
Objection.
Are you aware of that?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
You know that when you set up your iPhone, you have to choose
You see that?
Yeah, she's looking
Yeah.
over at Lally.
Or someone.
a time zone, correct?
She's getting
Correct.
And you always choose the New York time zone because that's where Boston is,
Hey,
right?
Correct.
Are you aware that if you go into settings, general, and then date and time, you could change the time zone to wherever you're going?
I guess I didn't. Once I set my phone up, I have no reason to change the time.
See? And in addition to changing the
Ooh,
time
what was that?
zone,
What was that? What was that?
you literally
You see
can
it?
choose
Yes, I saw it. These shifty
Why
eyes.
is she
I
making
just
that
don't buy
face?
that stuff as much.
No, why is she making this face though?
where that if you go into settings, general, and then date and time, you could change the time zone to wherever you're going.
I guess I didn't. Once I set my phone up, I have no reason to change the time.
See? And
Who says C? Who says C?
That was Yannetti.
Why?
That was Yannetti.
Why would he say that? Why would he say
Probably
that?
just because he was moving along. I don't know.
Okay. Is this the voir dire part?
I don't know.
Okay. Because she makes a face like he shouldn't be saying what he's saying, which leads me to believe this is voir dire and he's actually communicating with the rest of the defense team.
Yeah, he's not. Maybe, but she's also doesn't seem prepared for some of these, which is interesting.
Once I set my phone up, I have no reason to change the time.
see?
Yeah, this is voir dire.
And in addition to changing the time
Nervous.
zone, you literally can choose any time that
Oh,
you want.
he probably said I
You could
see.
make
You're correct.
1:45 a.m., 12:10 a.m. in about 3 seconds. Did you know
Objection.
that?
Very nervous.
Do you know that? Do you know that?
No.
But if I'm not accusing you of this now, but if you had changed the time on that from a screenshot, we'd have no way of knowing, correct?
I guess.
Because what a screenshot ultimately becomes is like a photo, correct?
Correct.
It's not like you can edit it, right? I mean, the most that you can do is what we saw on the other photo that was displayed, which is kind of crossing out with the magic marker somebody's face or a time, right? That would be how you'd have to alter it, right?
Correct.
Unless you
Now-
put it in Photoshop or Paint.
I had asked you if prior
I could do a
to
killer job with those in
getting
Paint.
rid of your old phone and getting the new one, if law enforcement ever asked you to, go through the phone themselves and you had said no, right?
Yes, they did not do that.
And they never asked to do an extraction on the old phone, correct?
No.
What about the new phone that you now have that you got in December? Have the state police ever asked to do, have they ever asked to look through that phone?
They look. No, I don't think so.
You provided the screenshot that was shown to the jury today.
Okay, we kind of get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I do think this was voir dire.
It is,
Somebody
yes.
was like, did she get voir dire? And she did get voir dire because they had to establish what she knew, how she understood how screen grabs work, the same way that they did with Colin. So they did this sort of the same thing.
Yeah, and
We're
then the
gonna
jury heard it
jump
again.
ahead.
To what?
This is the part that you wanted me to sort of play this out.
Right, and I would put it on fast because it's a little longish, but it's really good.
Okay. Well, I already have it at 125. Do you want me to go
I put it on
faster than that?
1.5. Yeah, I put it on 1.5.
Okay.
Because she doesn't mumble.
Right.
family, correct?
Correct.
Been over there many, many, many times, correct?
Correct.
And you're
Okay,
familiar
just
with-
to preface what this is. So we're going to go into the Life 360 data, basically like how she traveled that night, where she went, yada, yada.
Yes, the data that now
Very
Karen
interesting.
Reed's team says shows that she did not travel to 34 Fairview at any time on the 29th
Right.
of January, 2022.
Keep that in mind. The data, this fucking fly, I swear to God.
The Reed
fly.
team says that the data says that she did not travel anywhere. She did not travel to 34 Fairview on January 29th, 2022, which would be after midnight when all the action happened.
And she also did not travel to Colin's house.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind.
neighborhood in terms of the streets that are around there, right?
Correct.
And you've lived in Canton your whole life?
Yeah. Until, yeah.
When you were a baby, you were in Stoughton?
Yes.
Basically, you're a Canton girl. right?
Yes.
Canton
and
girl.
Can you tell the jury
David.
the route that you took home from 34 Fairview, or actually, strike that, the route that you took to Colin Albert's house when you left 34 Fairview on January 29th?
I don't remember specifically, but I would believe I drove up Fairview. Then, sorry, I don't know the streets.
If I suggested to you that the street closest to 34 Fairview was Cedar Crest, and the one on the other side is Chapman. Does that refresh your memory?
Yeah, so Chapman,
Okay, so
I
you would have
believe.
gone up and gone to Chapman and taken a right or a left?
Really bad with directions.
Just a girl.
When I
I'm
got
really
there,
bad
I went to
about
the center of town, his
directions.
house. I
I'm
don't
just
know
a normal
specifically which
girl.
way. I'm trying to think of it. I can't picture it.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Washington Street in Canton?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to the
On
Obama
Washington
Center.
Street?
Yes.
All right. And you're aware that the Canton Library is on the corner of Washington and Sherman Street? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you would pass by the library?
Yes.
Now, with regard to whether you went straight home, did you, by the way, when you went home, did you stay there
Yes, I believe so.
for in the rest of the night?
Yes.
Nope. He's
Okay,
about
and
to prove you're a
what time did you
liar.
say that you arrived at home?
You're wrong.
I'm
Wrong.
not sure.
You're wrong, Karen.
Before around 12:30ish.
With regard to Life 360, would you agree with me that if you go on that app and you're trying to figure out where somebody in your family is,
Sierra, look to the side again.
and then let's say you want to know if somebody's home.
Isn't she just looking at
There's
Lally?
like a circle that
She might be looking at Lally, but what she's signaling is she wants him to object,
Right. She's like, help
which
me.
means they're scared of this information. That's what I'm
Well,
gleaning from it.
it varies from what she's been prepped for. Because remember, he prepped
Right.
all these people in addition to her parents prepping her.
that surrounds your home, correct?
Yes.
So once you enter that circle, you know that Life 360 gives an alert that said you arrived at home. Even though you're physically not walking in the door, you're within that circle, and that's the home circle, right?
Yes.
This is really important because what David Yannetti is talking, he keeps saying the home circle, 34 Fairview circle, Colin Albert home circle. So what he's talking about is that same circle that, if you all remember, when we were talking about the 80 feet that John takes, that 80 feet is within the home circle of 34 Fairview. It's the same kind of thing.
Right. Correct.
On January 29th of 2022, at 12:04 and 53 seconds, you arrived within that home circle, correct?
Correct.
And then at 12:06 and 55 seconds on January 29th, you left that home circle, correct?
Correct.
And then on January 29th of 2022, at 12:23 and 14 seconds, you completed a 7-mile drive where your top speed was
7
42 miles an
mile.
hour. Does that make sense?
Correct.
42 miles an hour.
And then you left home on January 29th of 2022 at 12:23 and 14 seconds as well. And what that probably means, reading between the lines, is that you entered that home circle, but then you didn't go home. You went through the home circle and completed a 7-mile drive somewhere, right?
I guess I thought I went home.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your answer.
She was about to tell the
I believe I
truth.
went home.
Okay.
I was completing my
She's
drive
about
at
to
my
say
house.
something.
All right, but at 12:26 a.m. on January 29th, you left home again, right?
Objection, Your Honor.
Did you
Look at her. She looks to Lally for the answer. Like she goes, I don't know.
leave home?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All right. And at 12:26 a.m. and 12 seconds, you arrived at the Canton High School, correct?
No.
At 12.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Jackass. Why would you ask me that question? The problem is that he's looking at the data and she's saying, no, it's incorrect. No.
Objection, Your Honor.
Correct.
Did you leave home?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All right. And at 12:26 a.m. and 12 seconds, you arrived at the Canton High School, correct?
No.
On January 29th of 2022, at 12:26 and 55 seconds, you completed a 1-mile drive where your top speed was 43 miles per hour, right?
I don't believe so.
And then at 12:26 and 55 seconds on January 29th. You
The
left
The dater.
high school.
Hold on. This is breaking news. Where'd you
What's
see
breaking
this? Huerman got 100 years.
Yeah, his sentencing was today. Did he have to allocute? Let me know if he had to allocute because I'd want to watch that.
When arrived at home on January 29th of 2022 at 12:29 and 28 seconds, correct?
I do not know.
And then after arriving home again on January 29th of 2022 at 12:29 and 29 seconds, you completed a 12-mile drive on January 29th of 2022 at 12:31 and 22 seconds. Did you not?
No.
The timings
And then
are
you left
wild.
home on January 29th of 2022 at 1:08.
Rebecca, how he is literally looking at a piece of paper
Yes.
with the data on it.
Yes.
And he's saying at this time,
Yes.
at like 1 a.m., 12 minutes and 37 seconds, you made a 12-mile drive. And she's like, no, I didn't.
Yes.
With
notice
such
that-
confidence.
You notice that we're not
why-
seeing it on the screen? You notice that?
Yeah.
So I believe these are from the federal documents, which they were allowed to use to ask questions, but not enter into evidence. So he can't display it.
this
He
is
can't
what
enter
year?
document evidence. He can ask questions about it to establish whether or not she can testify to this. And that's what's going on
Which
right
is-
now. And
Which is why they can use it in the civil trials now,
Right.
or the civil cases now.
100% they can admit it as evidence in the civil trials.
Jesus Christ. She's literally saying no. Like if I'm looking at my location data and I go, hey, Rebecca, thanks for sharing your location with me. It looks like you traveled 12 miles. And you go, no, I didn't. What? Who's right? Is the computer
just
right?
say,
Or is the
just
human
say,
right?
if it says that, it must be, but that's not the way I remember it. Just say it in a believable way, at least, you know?
Yes, she's like, nope. That's her. This is her nope from Colin. I gotta watch that moment again. Hold on. Oh, look at her. Look at that look. Look at that. Who's she looking at?
Arriving home again on January 29th of 2022 at 12:29 and 29 seconds, you completed a 12-mile drive on January 29th of 2022 at 12:31 and 22 seconds. Did you not?
No.
And then you left home on January 29th of 2022 at 1:08 and 15 seconds, right?
I don't believe so.
What?
And
Did you believe that will get
ultimately,
her
you
out
went
of perjury?
through the home bubble and the Canton High School bubble, and you arrived at Canton High School on January 29th of 2022 at 1:28 in the morning and 8 seconds.
Can I see what you're referring to?
Jen McCabe move.
May I approach one?
Yes.
You probably don't read these, right?
No, I'm good.
He's so sweet.
He's,
Okay,
this
so
does
you
not
can
make
read the
me
whole thing, but,
love him less.
Where it says
He's being great with her.
reference 16 is what I just asked you
Saying,
about.
I don't mean to
Feel free
confuse
read
you.
the whole
Thank
thing.
you.
And if you would
Whatever
read
you
silently
say,
yourself,
all
let
the
me
right
know when you're
things.
done.
Oh, thank you for that.
Did
I
that
can't- I don't wanna
refresh
look at
your
that
memory
guy.
on where you were that night?
No.
Do you still dispute that you went straight home and didn't leave there?
Objection.
Sustained.
How does she know? Okay.
And
How does she know when Lally is supposed to object in these moments? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because she does. I wasn't prepared for this. You didn't tell me. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for this. I believe.
Do you hear the question though? Listen to what the question is. When she starts to look at Lally, it's shocking to me that she understands that he's supposed to object.
Mm-hmm.
do you still dispute that you went straight home and
Look.
didn't leave there?
Objection.
Do you see? Do you still dispute?
Yes.
And she looks at Lally. Why?
Right.
Why?
That's what they do,
Looks
man. But
directly at him.
I think she is. Yeah. So he could be. This person's right. ACB 926. He could be on his way up to stand, which is why he's pulling focus.
He absolutely could be. But in the middle of that question, she looks at him like takes her attention completely off of David Yannetti, looks over at Alan. I don't know. It's
Right.
just,
But if he's starting to stand, then it might be pulling focus. But one thing she has in common with her mom is that they both get very red.
yes.
Remember how much makeup
Yes.
Jen was wearing in the second trial, so you couldn't
Yep.
see her get red? Yeah.
Yep.
If we had seen Allie in part 2, I bet she would have been equally bronzed up.
I just want to, you're very welcome, Chronically Challenged. She said, hey, Mel, thanks for replaying when I want to watch again too. I'm really
true
bad
crime-
about that.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm bad
Another
about
true
it,
crime
but it's
piece
in a
of
good-
news
it's a good
dropped
way.
while we've been taping this, which is Mangione is going to enter a psychiatric plea.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Whoa.
She's
Was that
looking
from
for a life
Andrea
preserver.
Burkhart?
Nope. I just got it on my phone and on my very cute Garmin
Because I
smartwatch.
think Andrea Burkhart is in court.
No, I
could
got
be
this from
wrong,
like the New York Times or something.
I know she's covering it. Okay, here we go.
Stayed.
And finally, I just asked you about arriving at Canton High School on January 29th, 2022 at 1:28 and 8 seconds. You arrived at home, within that home bubble, on January 29th of 2022
bubble.
at 1:30 in the morning and 26 seconds. Correct?
What time did it say I arrived at high school?
1:30 in the morning and 26 seconds.
And what time did it say I arrived at high school?
The high school was 1:28 and 8 seconds.
It wouldn't have taken me 2 minutes to go.
She thought she got him right there. She thought she had him right
Mhm.
there. That was a Jen McCabe expression.
Wouldn't have taken me 2 minutes to get home.
From the high school to my house. I'm confused.
With regard to the high
Oh my God. It's like little Jen McCabe.
Little smuggy smug. That's the first time she's looked. She's appeared kind of earnest before this point.
school was also one of the bubbles, one of the areas where you could be, right, on Life 360?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you say that on Life 360, the Canton High School is not one of the areas that you're tracking?
What do you mean?
So, do you remember we were talking earlier about?
Oh, like put in a location, like that was home, that was high school.
Locations, like, if your mother's looking for you, where are you?
Yes.
Well, you're at D&E Pizza, you're at high school, you're at, home,
D&E
right?
Pizza.
I mean, those could be categories.
Correct.
You've agreed that home was one of the categories.
Correct.
And having reviewed that, the Canton High School is also one of the categories, correct?
I believe so.
And on January 29th of 2022, the last entry is that you completed a 12-mile drive on January 29th of 2022 at 1:32 in the morning and 23 seconds. And that's the end of the activity. Do you agree with me that that's when you finally stopped that night?
I don't recall.
I may have more.
Yes.
So one of the interesting things that I heard in these questions is that she gets home within like 45 minutes of when Jen McCabe is making that search. And it makes me wonder like what Allie knew, what she was communicating to her mom when she walked in the house. Cause this is when Jen McCabe, like keep this in mind, Jen McCabe is like pacing all night.
Yeah, I don't think so. Arriving at the Canton High School trip has always been interesting to me. So, is that if Colin? I mean, should she go there to talk to Colin? Did she go there?
I think she went to pick up Colin.
You think Colin left on foot
high school
from the house?
I think Colin, because the high school, you can get through that to the high school in the woods behind the Albert's house.
But do you think that Colin left on foot? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I
do.
do.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
I do. Because he didn't have a car there, which means that nobody could identify that his car was there. The only people who knew he was actually in the house were the people who were in the house with him, and the people who had been at Mikey's and whoever dropped him off, which it couldn't have been Allie because she never went to 34 Fairview at all that night. And so having Allie pull up to 34 Fairview would have been an issue, because if there was anybody in the house that wouldn't give him an alibi or wouldn't say, hey, there's Allie's car, or would pinpoint that Allie's car was there. This is what I'm thinking. If Colin goes out the back door through the woods to the high school, Allie picks him up there, then nobody says anything about Colin being in the house. They don't have to say Colin was in the house until they are confronted with that.
Right.
Which is a month later, however many months later, whenever Steve Scanlon says it was the nephew. So Allie never goes to 34 Fairview. She goes to the high school, and that's where she gets Colin. I don't know where she drops him off. I don't know if she brings Colin to Jen's house.
Or maybe she brought him something. Maybe she wasn't picking him up, but maybe she brought him something.
Clothes. Like she went back to the house and then made a 7-mile trip, and then went back to the house and made a 12-mile trip.
The 12-mile trip gets me. It's also snowing and it's the middle of the night. So
that's what I'm saying. So, and I also was thinking about this, and as far as the snowstorm is concerned, at that point in time, it wasn't really a blizzard. It wasn't a huge snowstorm. It wasn't like that until the next morning when John's body was being found. So why is Julie getting up in the middle of a blizzard to bring donuts to 34 Fairview?
Yeah. Well,
at like what, 8 o'clock in the morning?
It was Brian's birthday donuts.
I get that. She could have waited until later in the afternoon.
She also left them in the car, allegedly.
There was a blizzard.
No, she went over there so they could talk about fucking John's death and what they were going to say.
I know. But my point is, like, if we're breaking this down, if Allie if Colin, okay, because no one said Colin was at the house,
Mhm.
and Proctor wrote it down in his notes, but he didn't put it in his official report. They
Mhm.
were trying to make Colin absent. They did
Yes.
not want anyone to know Colin was there. They
Yes, we've
probably
established
didn't want
this.
anyone to know that Allie was in the area either, or that she picked him up anywhere.
Right.
They had to bring Allie into this because they had to give Colin an alibi.
Right.
Like Allie, they didn't want Allie involved in this. They didn't want Colin involved in this. But as
Right.
soon as someone said Colin was involved, they had to give him an alibi, and they used Allie to do that.
Right. I think that sounds right. But also, it's just these kids are shady, man. These kids are 17 and they're driving around at 1:30 in the morning, picking people up, dropping them off. Why is she their goddamn taxi service? That's what I want to know.
Well, why is a 17-year-old kid out on the night of a blizzard getting drunk at Mikey's house and then getting dropped off at his cousin's house to get even more drunk, and then who knows how he gets home, and all this shit. It's just like I have a 17-year-old. There's no way in fucking hell that any of this would be happening. We're the ones that
these
she
are
calls.
permissive parents who have entitled kids because they've
Yeah.
been permissive. So we know that.
Yeah. Okay. So was there anything else? Are we still in the middle of this? I think no. He would actually.
we're
He was
good.
asking questions. Hold on a second. Let's just see.
All
No
right,
further
Sally.
questions. Okay. She also talked about the accuracy being affected by Wi-Fi not being turned on. What was that part about?
That's not that important. Everyone so I actually disagree with almost everybody about this alleged slip up she makes at the one minute, 1 hour and 8 minute mark. I don't think.
Do we want to watch it?
Yes, we can. It's about an hour and 8 minutes in. I think people make way too much of this. I think she was just saying people said John was at the house. Yeah, people say that she slipped up and said John was at the house. I think what she just said was when people are saying John was at the house. I just think people make way too much of this. On rewatch, especially, I was like, this is a nothing burger. And this is the kind of thing that makes pre-camera people look crazy. So I just think think folks way too much of it.
It's because there are so many little things that are stacked up,
Agreed. But I don't think this is one of them. In my opinion, I could be wrong.
You weren't asked, and it wasn't relevant, correct?
Correct.
Now, you know why you were asked in August of 2023 versus any prior time period?
Because Colin Albert wasn't in the house, and it was brought up here that he was.
And brought up where?
By the defense.
And around that time of August 2023?
I believe so, yes.
And with reference to relevancy, is that what you were talking about?
Correct.
And what, if anything else, are you close friends with Colin Albert, is that correct?
Correct.
What, if anything else, has your family or Colin Albert and his family undergone over the course of pendency of this case? Objection.
No, the door's been open. I'm allowing it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, basically harassment.
This is when she cries.
Bloggers, people online.
Bloggers.
And what, if anything, in relation to Colin Albert being in the house has occurred as far as harassment?
I actually don't think the door was open for this.
Can you rephrase?
It was right when they called.
With reference to what you were talking about as far as the relevancy of Colin Albert being in the house at that time, what, if any, harassment was there in relation to that and in relation to Colin?
Well,
no, go ahead. She can answer.
Colin wasn't at the house, so he's being harassed he was not at the house when John was there, so I drove him home. So people are harassing him saying he wasn't.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I can understand also why people would be like, wait, John wasn't at the house.
Right.
John wasn't in the house, but whatever.
I understand. I just think that's one of those things that I see all the time. And I'm like looking at that. I mean, I remembered it as being more dramatic than it was. And when I watched it yesterday, I'm like, that's actually nothing. But I think that we all have a tendency to jump on something that suits our cognitive bias and be like, see, I told you.
Well, I just think it's depends on what your definition of is.
It depends on what the means in this instance. Ask me a benign question. Ask me a very benign question. I'll answer it like Colin Albert.
What color is the sky?
Can you rephrase the question?
Is the sky blue?
Sky?
I don't recall.
What's a sky?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Nope.
I can't remember.
Ever
That
been
kid,
in a
man.
fight? Nope.
He is not a brain trust for sure.
Okay. Yeah, Julie Nagel. That's true. Julie Nagel also slipped up and said John was in the house. That's true. You're absolutely right, Shaz.
Is Julie Nagel the one? No, Julie Nagel is the
softball.
I know who Julie Nagel is. Yeah.
The shot putter.
That seems stereotyping, Mel.
it's there's a lot of truth to some stereotypes.
I know. As we've
All
discussed
right.
previously on the program, and you would know better than anybody.
In about 2 hours, there's supposed to be a hearing, which we're going to watch.
Mhm.
And we will
Not
be back
live.
tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to discuss it. If anything happens, we'll be back at 8 a.m. regardless, because we do have other things to talk about. I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I'm going to be able to have Veronica Rodriguez on. Her lawyers have basically said it's up to you if you want to talk to media. So there's a possibility we could have Veronica on to talk about her story. It might be very, very, very tailored questions just to make sure that her appeal doesn't get fucked up. But
that's why I think maybe I shouldn't be there, because I'm the one who will ask the follow up.
And I'll be like, you can't. No, don't do it.
Rebecca, put a leash on. Put your leash on. Put your leash on.
Get your leash on. Get your leash on. Carla.
So good.
Okay. I really appreciate you. This was fun. Well, it was fun in that it seems like somebody killed John O'Keefe and a bunch of people are lying about it, and that sucks.
And apparently there's new dater. That proves
there's new
lying.
dater. I don't even think it's new. I think they've had. I think you were absolutely right in your.
They just couldn't use it. I mean, the whole rules around
it.
trial one where they can use it as foundation for questions, but they cannot admit it into evidence for the jury to have to bring back to that. And they can't put on the screen. They can't do any of that shit. They could just discuss so they could say in another proceeding you said, and then they can show them the federal grand jury minutes, but they can't say what the proceeding is, and they can't send those minutes up on the screen or back with the jury. So,
and I'll be honest with you, the cockiness with Miss Allie here and with Colin, when it came to what happened in grand jury testimony or what happened, they were told they can't touch you guys with federal stuff, so don't worry about it.
Right. And I also think that, you know how when how Lally brought Jen in to prepare her for the new evidence they had that she had stopped at Lank's house?
Wait, say that again.
Remember when Lally brought Jen in the day before she testified to prepare her for the fact that they were going to surprise her with stopping at Lank's house? I think when he brought like Allie in or Colin in, I don't think that he was smart enough to have looked at the Life 360 portion. I don't think that they caught it as a thing to flag. So, because if she was prepared, if he had prepared her for that, she'd have answers for it. Yeah, I went out to pick up antifreeze for my car. I went out to pick up milk and bread because my mom said we needed some, that kind of bullshit. But she didn't have any answers. So it's pretty clear that she was not prepared for those questions, which...
No, I mean, and then to be looking at the data and then to be like, so where'd you go when you drove 12 miles? She's like, I didn't do that.
I don't know. I can't remember.
So what did you talk to your sister Nicole about when you called her at this exact time?
Nothing nefarious.
Jesus.
There's nothing nefarious about me calling my sister.
There are no alternative facts, people. There's data and there's not data.
Dater and not dater.
All right.
Dude, you're just saying it wrong.
Viper says that we are very talented or so talented, and I appreciate that.
Very sweet. I appreciate that. I think there's some people on the internet and also in our space who would disagree with you, but I appreciate it. So make sure to become a member of this channel, because when you do, you can come to our members only Mondays or watch them later, in which I drink a bunch and Mel makes me watch something that I don't want to watch because it makes me uncomfortable, usually from one of the Karen Reed trials or media around it. Please join us for that. You can also get ad-free versions of these streams, which Mel takes the time to post afterwards. If you'll join at the higher level of membership. Poor Mel and her fly. You look
Send
like
me
that
some
episode
tips
of
so I
Breaking
can buy
Bad.
some. I need to buy some fly strips. Somebody send me fly strips.
You can send a
Do you see
Cash
them
App.
behind me?
I do. Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Those links are linked here, but they're also on our show page. But really get your friends to subscribe, because we are very close to 10,000 subscribers and we really would like to get there and beyond. But every time we reach one of those like milestones, it seems to go really fast after that. But as we're approaching the milestone, it slows way down. So nefarious shenanigans, says, love it when you say my name, Rebecca. Why did you have the word nefarious in your handle? Nefarious shenanigans, I didn't say nefarious. You put it in your handle.
This is a good one, and I think this is the one we're going to end on. Chad says, you two are the best. You don't cold play around.
Oh, I can fix you.